The defending champs of the NFC West try to get over 500 as the Arizona Cardinals host the surprising 4-2 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The NFL on Fox welcomes you to University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale, Arizona in a clash of NFC playoff contenders. Hello and happy Halloween from all of us to all of you, along with Super Bowl winning head coach Brian Billick. I'm Chris Myers, and we're glad you're joining us. And if people weren't paying attention, Brian, to the 4-2 Buccaneers during the week, well, they perked up when their head coach Raheem Morris said, "We're the
very good defense, particularly late in the game where they're keeping it close. They're beginning to run the ball very well, and they're inserting their big rookie back, LeGarrette Blount, to get it done. But mostly they're confident because the second-year quarterback, Josh Freeman, he's the reason they believe they can win."
Quarterback the story in Arizona, young Max Hall, 25-year-old undrafted rookie free agent out of Brigham Young, gets his third start. He was knocked out of last week's game with a concussion, but he's their guy today.
Well, Arizona's a team of times, and by that I mean they play pretty good defense. They take the ball away sometimes. They want to run the ball, and they're inserting their big back, Beanie Wells, to do that, and they've run the ball sometimes. The problem is at the quarterback position, they haven't played well at all at any time. Now, Max Hall's going to get the start after a horrendous game in Seattle, but he's got a couple things going for him. He gets Steve Preston back to team with Larry Fitzgerald. He's at home, and they're playing a fairly basic defensive package against Tampa Bay. If Max Hall wants to continue as the quarterback, and if these Cardinals want to win, he's going to have a good game.
Will it be good times or bad times for Max Hall and the Cardinals? The roof is closed here in Arizona, 90 degrees outside. And the Buccaneers will kick off to get things going. You'll note that the Arizona Cardinals are wearing black jerseys. In his fourth year as the head coach of the Cardinals, twice been to the playoffs. Rod Stevens howling back to return the boot from Connor Barth. The Bucs trying to win their fifth consecutive road game, which would equal the franchise record. The broadcast of the Jets and Packers here to Arizona. 1st and 10 for Max Hall. Beanie Wells. It was Sean Jones and Cody Grimm from the safety spot bringing him down. First down, Cardinals. Bucs defense led by first-round pick Gerald McCoy, coming off his best game as a pro, still looking for that first NFL sack. Barrett Roode leads the team in tackles, and Rondé Barber, 174th consecutive start at the corner position. That is an all-time NFL mark, besting that of Dick LeBeau at 171. And off just short of the 40-yard line to Rod Stevens howling. It'll be second down.
Well, clearly Arizona wants to run the ball. Keep in mind that Ken Wisenhunt comes out of that Pittsburgh Steeler mold of play good defense, run the ball. Got adapted a little bit with Kurt Warner at quarterback, and you can understand why. But if they're going to help Max Hall become the quarterback they think he can, they've got to get the running game cranked up. They've started out with 2 runs.
On second down and 10. Hall completes to his tight end Steven Spock for a short gain. It will bring up third down. This is one of those unique games where the head coach Ken Wisenhunt, Brian, calls the plays on offense, and the head coach for the Bucs, Raheem Morris, makes the calls on defense.
And you don't see a lot of that. It's an interesting dynamic, the fact that both the coaches are so integrated into it. Raheem Morris taking it over last year. He's a young coach, doesn't have a lot of experience as a defensive coordinator, but he's doing a great job with a very young group.
At age 34, the youngest head coach currently in the NFL is Raheem Morris. And young Max Hall at age 25, faced with an early first down. That's Doucette in motion. Throws and incomplete. A flag goes down. It was intended for early Doucette. And it looked like Rondé Barber had a chance to pick one.
Offside. Defense number 94 in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
Call is on Kyle Moore. Our referee today is Ron Winter.
Boy, it's irritating as a coach on a third down when you get them off the field to now them get another shot at it, all but even a shorter third down and short yardage. Max Hall's lucky that ball was high and inaccurate, because if it wasn't, it had gone back the other way. It wouldn't have counted, obviously, with the penalty, but that's got to be in the back of his mind.
So 3rd and 2, and Beanie Wells remains in. Hall's pass complete for a first down at midfield as Beanie Wells makes the catch. So they take advantage of the penalty and keep the drive alive.
You know, and throwing to the backs is something that has been missing in this Cardinals offense. Here you can see Max Hall just going a quick little outlet pass on a short 3rd down.
They're calling it incomplete here. At least the official stepped in.
Well, this is likely going to bring about a challenge for Ken Wisenhunt. I'm not quite sure what it is they saw.
Let's take another look at this.
Just a quick little outlet. You can see Beanie Wells coming in right here, getting his hands on the ball. Looks like he's got control. Nope, the ball is moving, never really settled in.
The challenge flag is out, Brian.
Yeah, he's going to call it, but based on what we just saw there, I'm not sure Beanie Wells had control of the ball adequately. We're going to have to get another shot to see where he was with regards to the sideline.
You can see Wells coming over, pleading to the coach, I caught the football. Ken Wisenhunt is challenged. We'll take a closer look in just a moment.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Thank you. Well, I think you're going to see here on the replay, I think the Cardinals are going to lose this challenge. You can see Beanie Wells coming out of the backfield here, and I want you to watch the ball as he approaches the sideline. He has it there, but he never has complete control. It is moving around as he moves out of bounds. I think the Cardinals, you can see right there clearly, I don't know that he gathers control enough before that left foot steps out of bounds.
It would negate a first down. Cardinals are 1 out of 2 in challenges this year, all-time 35%. And Geno Hayes was there to make sure that it was a difficult catch for Beanie Wells.
As we're waiting for the call here, I started to make, and you can see here obviously the rules that if you lose it, obviously you're going to lose the timeout. If you get it back, you're going to have to win the next one to get the extra challenge. But the point I was making before the call, the backs are a missing component of the passing game for the Cardinals. Last year, it was a huge part of what they did. Both Beanie Wells and Tim Hightower had better than 60 receptions. All right, we're going to hear what they have to say. So far, that hasn't shown up for them. They're both together under a dozen or so receptions between the two of them.
Ron Winters out from under the hood.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The player was juggling the ball, and his second foot came down out of bounds. Arizona is charged with the first team timeout.
And if you hear the verbiage by Ron Winters, it's confirmed, which means they saw on the film absolutely that there was the bobbling of the ball. Had he said the call stands, it simply means we didn't see enough to overrule the call. What they saw clearly said he did not have control.
Did you like the call that early, your opening drive?
Sure, on a key third down, sure, and I'm approaching the 50-yard line. I got no problem with it.
Spurlock is back to return the punt of Ben Graham. Fair catch. Has it. The Bucs offense will take over after a third down pass ruled incomplete, and the Cardinals lose the challenge.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
Halloween in the desert, the NFL on Fox, and the Bucs their first crack on offense. The division-leading Atlanta Falcons have a bye week in the NFC South. In the NFC West, the Seahawks are playing now. The Rams and the 49ers have already won. Cadillac Williams goes nowhere. Josh Freeman, the second-year quarterback, who has been the comeback kid. His 16th NFL start. He already has 5 fourth-quarter comeback wins. 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions so far this year. And 4th-round draft pick Mike Williams has been an outstanding rookie receiver. 28 catches and 3 touchdowns. The offensive line rookie Ted Larson starting at left guard. Kedrick Vincent was released this week, and James Lee for Jeremy Trueblood, who's out with a knee injury. That may be a trouble spot throughout this game. Freeman, it's in the air. Incomplete. The Cardinal defense doing its job so far, and Ken Whisenhunt has been happy with the pressure up front put on by his front four. They're coming off a 5-sack performance last week and a loss up in Seattle. Clark Hagan's out with a groin injury, so Will Davis steps in at linebacker. Adrian Wilson, the Bucs calling him the best blitzing safety in the NFL. And Josh Freeman will be aware of where number 24 is in that Arizona defense on 3rd and 12. Complete but short. Mike Williams making the catch. It'll be a punting situation, and Brian, as we check the scoreboard, an impressive road win for the Packers.
It is. It doesn't look impressive at 9-0, but I guarantee you Mike McCarthy's loving it. And look at the Washington-Detroit score. Detroit we've been talking about for a while. Good team. Buffalo and Kansas City. Interesting matchup here. This thing going into overtime.
And John Kitten is struggling. The Cowboys still with just one win on their way to losing to the Jacksonville Jags. So Robert Malone, the third different punter that the Bucs have used this year. A quick 3 and out. He lines it where Roberts is back and watches it go out of bounds around the 40-yard line of Arizona. So Max Hall will get another shot when we continue scoreless here in the opening quarter.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Pizza Hut. Your favorite plays deserve your favorite pizza. Your favorites, your Pizza Hut. By Bank of America. And
the NFL on Fox from Arizona, and some of the early stars from games played this afternoon. Jacksonville did defeat Dallas. The game has gone final, so David Garrard healthy and back in the lineup. Jamal Charles starring for Kansas City in an overtime battle with the Buffalo Bills. Here, scoreless, the second drive for Arizona on offense as Beanie Wells remains in an excellent field position from their own 39-yard line on first down. Ball's going deep for Larry Fitzgerald, incomplete.
Interesting contrast of these two quarterbacks, Chris. We're talking about Josh Freeman, one of the biggest quarterbacks in the league at 6'6", Josh Hall at 6'1", and that's liberal 6'1". But the size of the hand, this is Josh Hall's hand. Max Hall, excuse me. 3 fingers to get into the laces. You can see with a Josh Freeman, just the 2 fingers may seem like a little thing. Max Hall, one of the smallest set of hands coming out of the draft last year. This is part of the issue that Max Hall has to show he can overcome.
On second down 10, let's check the grip he has on this. That's Roberts to the left side. They're going to hand it to Wells. Powers for a few, and that was something Ken Whisenhunt told you in the rain in Seattle that he wished he was more aware of when you think of the difference between not only the NFL football and the college ball, but then the slippery ball with small hands and the official not necessarily covering the ball.
No question about it. You know, we measure everything at the combine these days, and hand length is part of it, and the idea obviously that a small hand is going to have a tougher time gripping the ball. Also brought up an interesting idea that the fact that the umpire is in a different position, the ball doesn't get covered as much, and therefore it is wetter than it normally would be.
So another third down for Max Hall. Aaron Root, who takes in the defensive signals, the middle linebacker for Tampa Bay. Pass is complete, and for a first down. Wells holds on rather cleanly this time. Brought down by Cody Grimm, the son of Russ Grimm, coach on the Cardinals sideline.
Not unlike the throw that we saw earlier. They had a curl route down the field. Max Hall waiting on the curl, not liking it, and now just leading. Beanie Wells out a little bit better thrown ball. Anytime you can get a big back like this out on air, it's a positive and a third down conversion for him.
So first and 10 from now, the 43-yard line of Tampa Bay. Tim Hightower checks in, and Hall goes back into the shotgun. Fitzgerald splits out to the right. Steve Preston is on the left. Hall to throw. Down the middle and incomplete. He led Fitzgerald too much. And you can talk about Max Hall's grip and his moxie and what Ken Wisenhunt likes about him. He was clear when the coach spoke to you, Brian, that, hey, we're trying to win now. This is not down the road. We think he gives us the best chance, and if he develops along the way, well, that's what he has to do.
Some people have conjectured that, we're just about developing Max Hall. No, if they thought Derek Anderson could win games for them, they'd have Derek Anderson in. They believe that Max Hall gives them the best chance to win. We're going to find out.
And Anderson, the backup. Wisenhunt said he did what he had to do last week, coming in and sparking the team. On second down, Hall's pass.
This young man gets fired up. They like his demeanor. That's the best pass he's thrown all day. I'm a little surprised by the amount of gun snaps he's taking so far on first and second down. They possibly think because of his size, getting him away from center easily in the gun position might lend itself better to production. But here with a nice play action fake, that's tough for a smaller quarterback to come out of a play fake blind and throw it down in the middle of the field.
And they're moving the receivers around as Breston goes out to the right on 1st and 10. A handoff to LaRod Stevens. Howlett inside the 20 of Tampa Bay. And let's get an update on some other activity and check in with Kurt Menefee.
Bills in Kansas City in overtime. Buffalo looking for that first win, but Ryan Lindell into a swirling win. Misses a 53-yarder. Kansas City going for the victory. Ryan Suckup misses a 39-yarder. 2 minutes left in OT. It is still tied at 10. Chris and Coach.
Thanks, Kurt. And the Bills will play in Toronto in a game you'll see on Fox next Sunday when the Chicago Bears face off against Buffalo. The Bears on a bye week. Here on 2nd and 4. They hand it off to Preston. First down, Steve Preston to the 6-yard line. Preston back after the knee injury. It knocked him out in the last 3 games.
And this is just called a ghost reverse. You're going to see Preston come into motion back into here, ends up behind the play. You're going to see him hand off to the running back off that same action at some point. They have missed this, not having Steve Preston in the offense. Now it's got him inside the 15-yard line.
Tight end Ben Patrick threw an excellent block to help make that happen. So Beanie Wells checks back in. 2 tight ends. Preston lines up tight in the formation on 1st and goal, Cardinals. Wells, not a lot of running room, although he powers forward, and the Bucs, Barrett Roode making the stop, have been run on consistently this year.
And this is where the Cardinals clearly want to run as well. You can see here the red zone efficiency of the Cardinals. It's all about touchdown percentage, field goal percentage, but the nature of the game, the way they want to win, I'd be very surprised if they don't pound away here trying to get it into the end zone.
In 26 quarters for Max Hall, they're still looking for their first rushing or passing touchdown with him guiding the offense.
They're spreading it out into 3 wides like they want to throw. It'd be interesting to see if they want to hand off a quick trap or draw.
Hightower, fake, Hall throws, end zone, Fitzgerald, touchdown!
Max Hall has his first NFL touchdown. You saw him have the ball. Larry Fitzgerald just going to work in the back of the end zone after a play fake. Started to crack on the linebacker, slipping in behind it. Max Hall, that's one that's going to go up on his trophy case. You better believe it.
E.J. Biggers, the nickelback, beaten on the play, and the extra point gives the Cardinals a 7-0 lead. So Max Hall delivers. Larry Fitzgerald with his 3rd touchdown catch of the year. 7-0 Cardinals. Cardinals take advantage of excellent field position, and on a 9-play drive, first career touchdown pass for Max Hall in the NFL. For Larry Fitzgerald, his 62nd.
I think he's calling home going, hey, Mom, I just threw a touchdown pass.
And Larry Fitzgerald, who said that Max Hall was maybe the best quarterback on the team back in the preseason, was an early assessment. Realizing that here as Feely kicks off to Michael Spurlock from his 5. Penalty flag flies in as Spurlock goes down at the 28-yard line. Number Preston Parker, who is the return man for the Bucs during the year, was hurt last week, a knee injury.
During the return, holding number 44 return team. Penalized half the distance to the goal. First down.
It's on rookie Eric Laurie.
All right, let's go back, and here's what made the play right here. I thought they might run the ball. Well, obviously Tampa Bay thought the same thing. Geno Hayes comes screaming up with the play fake. Biggers thought he was going to get help on the inside from Hayes, and obviously Larry Fitzgerald, Max Hall excited about. He knows that's his first one, and Larry Fitzgerald knows, you know what? This is your ball, young man.
It's getting loud in here from inside the 10. Cadillac Williams with Josh Freeman in the backfield. Passes behind John Gilmore, incomplete. Second out and 10. Looks like the ball was tipped. Larry Fitzgerald, who has been the go-to guy, and his mother passing away of breast cancer as we close out Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the NFL, and the donation $5,000 more for every touchdown during the month. Second and 10. Cadillac Williams nowhere. Third down. Maybe a 2-yard gain.
Well, we really thought that we would see a lot of pressure from both teams on these young quarterbacks. And here, Adrian Wilson, there's no one better in the league to bring pressure with. And when you bring them down in the box, they're there not just for pressure, but for run stopping. You get a 1-2 punch with Adrian Wilson. Now it's put Josh Freeman in this Buccaneer offense in a 3rd and long.
Screen to Cadillac Williams. He'll be short of the first down. Saw a lot of finger pointing from Josh Freeman before the snap.
Yeah, he's got to handle the pressures that Arizona's bringing, and Adrian Wilson in this secondary of the Arizona Cardinals have come up big on a number of games. Obviously, you're going to let a pass get completed in front of you if you can rally to the ball and stop it short of a conversion. You don't care if it's 4th and 2, 4th and an inch, or 4th and 10. They got a punt either way.
And Jeremy Zuta, the injured Buccaneer player, and he's already backing up at center because Jeff Fain is missing his 3rd straight game. We mentioned Ted Larson, the rookie, starting at left guard, and James Lee filling in for Trueblood at tackle. Now, this would be a severe blow to an already beat up, revamped offensive line for the Bucs. So it's another punting situation for Malone. 2 3-and-outs by the Bucs offense so far. Andre Roberts back to return. Had the costly muff punt last week in Seattle, but Ken Wisenhunt praised his play as a receiver in the game. And just short of the 40-yard line, Savvy Piscatelli makes the special teams play. Max Hall with a 7-0 lead guides the offense when we return. Tonight, Game 4 of the World Series. Giants trying to regain the momentum. They have a 2-1 lead over the Rangers, who won at home. Coverage of the World Series begins tonight after football in high definition only on Fox. It'll be Bumgarner against Tommy Hunter. Spend Halloween watching the World Series. Here, Max Hall with a 7-0 advantage leads the offense, and again, excellent field position from the 40 on 1st and 10. He keeps, and Geno Hayes throws him to the grass.
Well, that was just a missed handoff. He's lucky that ball didn't come out, because he was trying to run this stretch zone. You can see right here, Geno Hayes is going to come firing through, but you're going to see right here, he's trying to get to Beanie Wells. He can't. He stumbles coming out. Fortunately, he pulls the ball back at the last minute to protect it, or this might have been Tampa Bay's ball.
5-yard loss, and the Bucs defense needs to take a stand here. Wells remains the running back at 2nd and 15. It's intercepted. He threw it right into the hands of Geno Hayes, and Geno Hayes has a touchdown, Tampa Bay. Sean Jones delivered a shot on Max Hall.
Well, this was a blitz off the edge. I'm not sure if Max Hall knew it was coming. He got surprised at the last second. You're going to see right up here at the top, Sean Jones is going to come off that edge. No one touches him or comes close to touching him. Max Hall's got to believe that he was picked up somewhere along the way just as he gets hit. That's a quarterback's worst nightmare, an unblocked free runner.
And how about Geno Hayes? He makes a tackle in the backfield and then a pickoff and a 41-yard return, taking it into the end zone. And with this extra point from Connor Barth, we'll have a tie game. It got quiet in here. 7 apiece. So Max Hall learning the highs and lows of life in the NFL as the Bucs defense celebrates. Along with Brian Bill and Chris Myers, the NFL on Fox here in Arizona, and shaking his head. It wasn't all Max Hall, but Geno Hayes takes the interception back, his 3rd career touchdown in the NFL. And for the Buccaneers since 2000, the 2nd most interceptions in the league behind the Baltimore Ravens defense.
Well, in a game on the road, if you're going to win on the road, it typically takes a play like that. This Tampa Bay Buccaneer offense was going nowhere. There was really no energy in Tampa Bay for a team that wants to think of itself as being this good. They've got some energy going now.
So Connor Barth will kick off to LaRod Stevens-Howling in an explosive first quarter already. On the run. Stevens-Howling across the 30-yard line, first down.
Let's go back to this, Chris, because this is all Beanie Wells. You're going to see Sean Jones come off the edge. Go ahead and let it run. And you're going to see the tackle now. He's got to take care. Stop right here. The tackle's got it secured in here. The running back has to read 1 to 2 in any pressures to protect his quarterback, and he does not. Beanie Wells has had 2 issues to find his way in the lineup. Fumbling the ball and in protection. The lack of knowledge of the protection cost his team there.
It was a low wobbly pass, but an excellent interception on the part of Hayes. He went low to the ground to gather in the football and then return. We have an injured player down on the field following the kick all the way out to the 33-yard line is where the Arizona Cardinals will take over on first down. So if you're Max Hall, Brian, you've already seen a lot in this game. You complimented his play on the handoff, protecting the football, but then maybe does he just eat that football in that situation?
Yeah, but he had no idea. You know, it's tough on a quarterback in that he knows the protection scheme. He knows he should have been picked up. What he didn't know was his running back was going to blow it and not take the guy off the edge and get blown up on the backside.
Fox football coverage doesn't end when the games are over. Afterwards, stick around. Kurt, Terry, Howie, the guys, interviews, highlights, and a look ahead to next week. America's #1 postgame show, The OT, presented by Lowe's, coming up after the game only on Fox. And, of course, baseball after that. Savvy Piscatelli, backup safety, the injured player. And we'll check on that as well as Jeremy Zuta when time permits. But right now, Beanie Wells remains in as the running back. And carries to the 35-yard line. Roy Miller makes the stop.
Well, I commented earlier that I was a little surprised because it seems like the defenses were being a little more passive. We anticipated a lot of pressure against these young quarterbacks, but we've seen 2 pressures now affect the game, most notably that last one. We've also seen pressure by Adrian Wilson against the Tampa Bay and Josh Freeman.
Raheem Morris, who when he took over calling the defense late last year, is when the Buccaneers started winning games. Handoff to Wells and brought down a good tackle by Cody Grimm, the 7th round draft pick out of Virginia Tech, who has worked his way into the starting lineup.
Well, and Cody Grimm is the guy they really want to drop down into the box. They will rock and roll a little bit trying to hide it, but if Savvy Piscatelli can't come back in, that may limit it a little bit. But Grimm is the one they want to drop down into it. He's their poor man's John Lynch. I don't want to put him quite in that category yet, but he's a good physical player that knows what to do when he gets down in that box.
Arizona 1 out of 2 on 3rd down tries today. This could be a momentum shifter for Hall. Being chased by Styles G. White, and he gets rid of it. And it did not get up to the marker, but it was past the line of scrimmage, so it brings up a punting situation. 4th down after good pressure from the Bucs.
And this is just 4-man pressure. They didn't blitz. They didn't bring a linebacker. Anytime you can see here, the backers are back off the ball. They just bring a 4-man rush, and off the edge, Max Hall is waiting, steps up into the pocket, climbs the pocket like he should. No place to go. If Tampa Bay can continue to get pressure with a 4-man rush, it's going to bode very well for them defensively.
Good pressure on the punt as it goes out of bounds. We mentioned earlier that it was Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Larry Fitzgerald through the month of October. Let's check in. We welcome from the field Jamie Maggio. Jamie?
Hey, Chris. All right. Thank you. Bucs 4th-year linebacker Adam Hayward lost his mother, Pauline, to her battle with breast cancer back in 2004. So now at the start of every game, he kneels at the 50-yard line. He thanks his mother for watching over him and asks for the strength that she had during her battle with breast cancer. Now, he said that his loss has enabled him the ability to touch the lives of so many people, which, of course, he knows that makes his mother proud. Chris, Brian, back to you.
Thanks, Jamie. And he is an inspiration, a terrific special teams player and appreciated by his teammates. Jeremy Zutov back in at center on 1st down from the 30. And LeGarrette Blount carries for the first time today. The rookie picked up on waivers from the Tennessee Titans. Kareem Huggins was injured. They brought him in. Undrafted out of Oregon, but a guy that the Bucs had their eye on prior to the draft.
This is the chess match we're talking about, Chris, with the coaches being the play callers. Ken Wisenhunt calling offense for the Arizona Cardinals. Defensively, you've got Raheem Morris, but on the flip side now, you got Billy Davis trying to dial up just the right play calls of passive zone or aggressive pressure against his Tampa Bay team.
Blount carries again. Penalty flag goes down, and Blount goes down eventually inside the 25. Adrian Wilson wouldn't let him go.
Tampa Bay is just struggling to get its running game cranked up. They've inserted, had a big game last week.
Offside. Defense number 55 in the neutral zone for snap. A 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
That's on Joey Porter.
Boy, just up here, this is lethal. You've now just turned a 3rd and 15 into a 2nd and 5. Gets just the most subtlest of early jumps on the ball. Hard to recognize whether he was truly offsides, but boy, played right into the hands of Tampa Bay.
Porter playing with a sore groin, and remember Clark Haggans is out on the other side with a groin injury. So Cadillac Williams is out as a receiver. Ernest Graham is in on 3rd down. And Aurelius Ben carries from the receiver spot and goes nowhere. Correction, that was 2nd down. Now it will be 3rd down for Tampa Bay. Aurelius Ben, the rookie receiver out of Illinois, drafted ahead of Mike Williams, and hasn't done that badly. It's just that Williams has been such a star for Tampa Bay. Their offense looks like they're playing it safe here, Coach.
And they are. And although that little reverse is something that you see a lot in the college game, this is a young receiving corps. When you're talking about Aurelius Ben, Mike Williams, or really obviously the tight end Kellen Winslow in year 7 is the grand old man of this group.
On 3rd down. Pass complete. He did not hang on as Williams went to the ground. He had it and couldn't hold it. It'll be 4th down for the Bucs. Talking about how sure-handed Williams has been, but he was not on that play.
Yeah, and you could see the movement of the Josh Freeman moving around here. Williams just sitting down in the hole in the middle of the defense. Hard to understand how you don't come up with that one. Josh Freeman has so much faith in Mike Williams' ability to come up with the ball. That's hard to understand that one there, even whether he's a rookie or not.
So Malone comes on again to punt. A high kick. And Roberts, fair catch. And the Arizona Cardinals will take over on offense. We are tied at 7 as we enjoy a little Halloween NFL from the desert, along with Brian Billick, Chris Myers, and the big defensive play for the Bucs so far. Both quarterbacks playing rather hesitant, at least it looks that way.
Well, and it came off of pressure, and we thought that's the way this was going to be. A lot of pressure from both defenses, not only to stop the run, but to see if these young quarterbacks can pick it up. So far, Tampa is one up because the Arizona Cardinals couldn't pick up the one pressure that they brought off the edge that led to the touchdown.
And the turnovers, the giveaways that have killed the Arizona Cardinals this year. They had 5 last week. Heard them here when Geno Hayes ran the interception back. Ball hands to Beanie Wells. Let's get a game break. Here is Kurt Menefee. Kurt?
It took all 60 minutes of regulation and all 15 minutes of overtime, but with the clock ticking down, Ryan Suckup wins it for the Kansas City Chiefs, keeping Buffalo winless at 0-7, 13-10 the final. Chris and Coach.
Thanks, Kurt. The Chiefs, one of those surprise teams in the AFC, and the Bucs, a surprise team here in the NFC. Are they the best of the NFC? We'll continue to discuss that. That's the end of the first quarter. We're tied at 7. Fox NFL Sunday continues after these messages. Back live here in Arizona on Halloween. Max Hall, 2nd down 7 from the 26-yard line. Preston in motion. Out of bounds. He's barely 6'1", and on the run with big defensive linemen chasing him. Hall had to get rid of it. Looked like he ran right out of his shoe.
Yeah, he must be fast.
Well, you have to be to run from those guys.
And when you have a quarterback of this size, although that wasn't the design of that play, getting him outside the body of the pocket's not a bad. You know, the guy he reminds me of, I'm going to go back ways here, but it's Virgil Carter. Remember in the old Cincinnati
Bengals?
And that was really the beginning of the West Coast offense. They had to find a way to get the ball out of the hand quickly, move the athletic moving around.
Still, there's a thing out called a shoehorn. On 3rd down. Hightower is in. Hall to throw to Fitzgerald, and he does hold on. Knocked out of bounds for a 1st down. So that is showing a little calm there. Worried about the shoe, throwing a pass, getting the 1st down.
And that's a hard throw now. It's a simple out throw to Larry Fitzgerald, all but to one of the best receivers in this game. But you got to put that one on a bit of a rope. That showed a confidence in this young man on a 3rd down to throw that thing to the outside, because that's a longer, you think, well, it's just a simple out throw. No, that's one of the harder throws that you're going to make, because that thing is a lot further away than you think, and it needs to be on a frozen rope.
So from the 36-yard line, Arizona is going to have to call a timeout. There was some confusion as Max Hall checks the play. So after the Cardinal timeout, we're tied at 7.
Today's game is sponsored by Coors Light, the new Silver Bullet aluminum pipe from Coors Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL. By Lowe's. Lowe's, let's build something together. And by Unstoppable, November 12th, only in theaters.
We're tied at 7, and looks like the shoe is in place for Max Hall. 1 timeout remaining here in the first half for the Cardinals. They lost one earlier on the challenge that they were not successful with. So on 1st down from the 36-yard line. Beanie Wells brought down in a hurry. A smothering defense. Quincy Black led the charge. We saw Larry Fitzgerald run a nice route moments ago.
Yeah, it was an out route. And this is just a 3 route in every offense known to man. The 3 route here is a 10 to 12 yard roll route, and that's a long old throw. Trust me, from here out to there, it's obviously a staple against a single high safety or man for man. You've got a situation with Larry Fitzgerald, could be one of the best ever to play the game, and obviously a nice straight arm throw from Josh Hall. Max Hall. That's all right. Max Hall. Josh Hall's a good friend of mine, by the way.
Oh, well, Josh, thanks for watching as Wells carries. We should mention that combination from that route tree. Larry Fitzgerald having a touchdown catch earlier in the game for Max Hall, the first NFL touchdown pass by Max Hall.
And Larry Fitzgerald has faith in Max Hall. He probably would in Josh Hall as well, but he doesn't know Josh Hall.
You're just joshing.
Max Hall is a guy that he felt like, as you mentioned in training camp, is a guy that could lead this team. Getting Steve Breaston back to take a little pressure off of Larry Fitzgerald would certainly help. Right now they're having a little issue with who belongs in the huddle. Beanie Wells coming back in.
And he's checking the playlist on the wrist, but
well, we're seeing some of the inefficiencies of both maybe the sideline and the young quarterback having to sort this out. He may have to call a timeout.
they only have one remaining.
Yeah, see, that's
a delay of game.
And they've already had to burn one.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
And again, that's not all just Josh Hall. Beanie Wells wasn't in. They were calling for the right personnel. Josh Hall. Boy, I'm going to get this right, aren't I? Max Hall, it's not all his fault. Beanie Wells came in late, whether that was the sideline, getting the right personnel substitution in. Max Hall is not getting a lot of help right now, I guess is what I'm saying.
Well, Cardinal fans are saying if Derek Anderson, the veteran, was in, would you have these problems?
In that instance, I don't know that it would have helped because it was a substitution issue from the sideline, not strictly Max Hall's fault.
Derek Anderson looking on now 3rd and 13. Max Hall to throw for Breaston, and he wasn't open. No flags. A punting situation. Aqib Talib with excellent coverage on Breaston to get his first game back after the knee injury.
You know, you said earlier, Chris, that they talked about maybe condensing the game plan a little bit. Max Hall had a terrible game up in Seattle for a lot of different reasons, but it's little things like that that turns a 3rd and long, already long, into a 3rd and a ton that will kill a veteran quarterback, let alone a young rookie quarterback.
Good pressure, but he got it away. Sammy Strotter back to return the punt and bobbles it. It's fumbled, and the Cardinals, it looks like they're on it. Quick to recover was LaRod Stevens howling.
Well, the Cardinals were a victim of this on the road last week in Seattle, and here you can see the ball just bounces right out. Good coverage by the punt team. They were the victim. This is the way that they lost up in Seattle. Maybe it's poetic justice that they get this kind of short field now that they're home here in Arizona.
Now, Sammy Strotter has worked as a punt returner, but Preston Parker has been their kickoff and punt returner much of the year, but he was hurt last week, which is why Spurlock is the kickoff return man. And Strotter back on the punt return, the muff punt. Cardinals have it, 1st and 10.
You can see if they throw the ball here to go after it.
Jason Wright is in the game. He catches the pass from Hall. Let's get another game break. We head to Kurt Menefee. Kurt?
After 59 points last week, the Raiders off to a more sane start today. But it's a good start nonetheless. Marcel Reese taking this one 30 yards from Jason Campbell, and they lead the Seahawks 10-0 in the 2nd quarter. Chris and Coach Billy.
Thanks, Kurt. You see the AFC West. In the NFC West, Cardinal fans interested in that game because if Seattle were to lose and the Cardinals were to win, that helps their position in the division. Remember, the Rams and 49ers have already won today on 2nd and 2. Stevens howling has a 1st and goal. They call him Hyphen here in the desert.
Well, Ken Wisnut showing confidence in his quarterback. Sudden change, typically you want to take a shot to the end zone, but you got a young rookie quarterback. Hasn't had the best of outings, yet that's exactly what they did. Came out, took a shot down the field, then you spread him out, throw a quick trap or draw in there. Ken Wisnut's using the entire game plan right now and isn't taking into effect whatsoever that he's got a rookie quarterback, which tells me he has faith in this young man.
So from the 3-yard line, Beanie Wells is in. Beanie Wells powering, and the Bucs build a wall there, keep him from getting into the end zone. Wells had a touchdown last week.
You've got a camera right here on the goal line. The key is, does the ball break the plane? You can't see it there. There's too many bodies, too much of a scrum. Doesn't look like he got the goal line to me. This is just an old rugby scrum now. He's pushing. The back's pushing, the line's pushing. Now everybody's pushing, trying to get it across that line.
Beanie Wells has a Cardinal touchdown.
No question about it this time. Right across the goal line. They just got a bunch of bodies. My big bodies are going to push more than your big bodies. Almost got sliced off the edge there, coming off the edge. Saw Adam Hayward almost catch him from behind, but that's just a pure rugby scrum there. Big body against big body.
Second rushing touchdown for Beanie Wells. The extra point. He is good. So the Cardinals, who once led 7-0, now lead 14-7. Beanie Wells got the start and has delivered with a touchdown run. Earlier missed a block, obviously, that put pressure on Max Hall. As Sammy Strawder, the muffed punt, set that score up for the Cardinals. Two teams in the NFC on Halloween trying to show they belong as contenders for the playoffs. Spurlock is back to return the kick from his own end zone, and he's going to down it, so he'll take over on the 20. A week from tonight on Fox, Halloween isn't over until the Simpsons say it is. It's an all-new treehouse of horror. The Bloodsuckers are out and hungry for Homer. The all-new Simpsons Treehouse of Horror starts at 8, 7 Central 1 week from tonight on Fox. And you talk about the Bloodsuckers being out. They were out on the young quarterback, Max Hall, after his performance in Seattle.
And I've been calling him Josh Hall, so by fairness, I'm going to start calling him Max Freeman.
Max
for equal airtime, if that's...
Max Freeman. Sounds like your agent.
He does. That's my insurance agent, so I can come up with another excuse.
Meanwhile,
but whatever his first name, Freeman needs to kind of get this Tampa Bay Buccaneer offense going because they've been stagnant up to now.
Freeman to throw, and wide open is Mike Williams. There's a penalty flag down as Williams gets near midfield. A 31-yard pickup.
I'm going to be interested to see what this penalty is. There was no one near Mike Williams.
Maybe defensive holding somewhere on the play.
Or earlier. We'll have to see.
Defense number 24. The penalty decline. Result of the play.
Yeah, that may have been. He's just going to bring. This is just a boot and waggle. You're going to see Williams come all the way across the field. Adrian Wilson must have got a handful of Kellen Winslow, because there's no one near him there. That's all because of the play fake and the release of Kellen Winslow pulling the underneath coverage.
So that call was on Adrian Wilson, and it's inside Arizona territory. That's Kellen Winslow going out to the right in the slot there for Freeman. Josh to throw, has time, dumps it off to Garrett Blunt for a short pickup. Blunt in on a passing play. Paris Lennon brought him down, the leading tackler on this Arizona team.
Defensive coordinator Billy Davis was concerned about Josh Freeman's size. He says we can get there, but I'm not sure we can bring him down. What we can do is get him to throw up a bunch of jump balls, and that's what they hope to do with their pressure package, because Billy Davis knows you can get inside on Josh Freeman, but bringing him down is a whole nother proposition.
He's 6'6" and almost 250. Freeman on 2nd and 8. Blunt remains in the backfield. Freeman down the middle of the field for Mike Williams, and that's a touchdown, Tampa Bay. 47 yards. The rookie from Syracuse hauls it in.
Great air by Josh Freeman. Typically a big physical quarterback like Josh Freeman gets a wide open receiver like that, the ball tends to be too flat. He tends to overthrow it. That was the perfect trajectory. Watch this. He steps into it, has the perfect amount of air getting underneath Mike Williams. Normally he throws up jump balls. He just needed to lead him on that one.
That is the career-long touchdown pass for Josh Freeman. And Mike Williams, his favorite target. And with this extra point, we'll already have 28 points in this game. 8:59 to go before the half. We are tied at 14. Mike Williams hobbling to the bench. We'll check on his health in just a bit.
Today's game is sponsored by Chevrolet. Every model is backed by a 100,000-mile, 5-year powertrain limited warranty.
High-scoring affair so far. Mike Williams, his 4th touchdown of the season. That leads all rookies in the NFL, and he's walking around. He appears to be okay after limping off on that 47-yard connection from Josh Freeman.
Hopefully that's just a cramp. The way he was moving off the field, it kind of looked like that. Hopefully that's all it is.
So Connor Barth to kick off. And LaRod Stevens-Howling, who made a great special teams play recovering a muffed punt, returns this time and is trying to get outside. E.J. Biggers runs him out of bounds. So Max Hall will take over in a tie game after Josh Freeman and Mike Williams got the Bucs into the end zone. Hope you're enjoying the NFL on Fox from Arizona. Tied at 14. And taking over Max Hall on offense. Let's take a look at that.
Right here, I want you to watch Mike Williams go over the top, and as he gets down the field, go ahead and let it run. With a hard play fake, I want you to watch what it did to the free safety right there. Totally sucked up with the play fake. Toller thought he was getting help over the top and didn't.
The pitch to Beanie Wells goes down short of the 25-yard line. 2nd down coming up. The Buccaneers have been a slow starting team. They've had to come from behind to win games. The Cardinals have won close games this year. When you look at the stats of these two teams, as Raheem Morris will tell you, stats are for losers. You say, how do these teams win games?
Yeah, but the fact that they are 4-2, we thought this would be a tight game, Chris, when we started out, simply because they match up very well. They're not maybe the best 2 teams in the National Football League, but they do match up very well, and we can see we haven't been disappointed with the 14-14 tie.
Hall under pressure dumps the pass. It's complete to Breaston. Knocked down short of the 28-yard line. Geno Hayes, who's been all over the place. So it'll be 3rd down for Max Hall.
Well, we've seen it by happenstance and now by design, getting Max Hall out of behind the protection for a couple reasons. You want to move the quarterback around. You don't want the defense to get a beat on him. But a guy that's only 6 foot tall, 6'1", it's not all bad to get him out from behind those big linemen.
And he was very clear about playing the worst game maybe he's ever played last week in Seattle before getting knocked out with a concussion. Hoping to bounce back at home. Pressure coming. He steps up, throws, completes, and has a 1st down up near the 40-yard line to Breaston.
This is a nice job by Max Hall. Rondé Barber comes off the edge. You don't always get everybody blocked up. He's already been knocked down one time. But now Max Hall, he knows, okay, sometimes I've got to deal with the blitzer. The key here is he knew he was a man short, that it was his responsibility. He stepped up under the protection scheme and converted on 3rd down. Nice job by the young rookie.
Those 25-year-old eyes did not have a look at panic. From the 40. Intercepted. That's Sean Jones. Correction, Aqib Talib. Aqib Talib has a Tampa Bay touchdown.
Wow, this is the same.
There is a penalty flag after the touchdown.
Likely to be for celebration. This was the same out throw that we were just complimenting him on to Larry Fitzgerald. The difference being this was coming from the far hash. I want you to watch where the ball starts here on this left hash. You're going to see the receiver running out route here.
Excessive demonstration.
That's just a long way to throw that ball. It was excessive demonstration. We're hearing from the official right now. But when you throw that out route from the far left hash, that is a long way to throw the ball. Stared it down just a little bit.
And Aqib Talib went high in the air to grab that for his 4th interception, and like Geno Hayes, took it back into the end zone. 2 defensive touchdowns for the Buccaneers. That's the 35th defensive touchdown since the year 2000. Tied for 2nd most in the league during that time. And Derek Anderson is warming up. Just getting stretched.
Now this may be Hall's trying to come in here and stop the touchdown. just buckles a little bit. I don't know whether we see Anderson warming up because they're going to pull him or because maybe he got twisted up there a little bit. It looks like he's moving around. You know, when you throw that out route, and I said earlier what a difficult throw that is.
Is that about arm strength?
That is, and there's not but a handful of quarterbacks in this league, I will tell you, that can execute that throw from the far hash. Plus, typical rookie fashion, maybe held it and stared it down just a little bit. Talib seeing it all the way, had all the time in the world to step in front of that thing.
So a 21-14 Buccaneer advantage and 2 interceptions returned for touchdowns. Max Hall had the earlier touchdown pass to Larry Fitzgerald. But what will Ken Wisenhunt do if his quarterback is healthy?
Well, it depends on who do you want to hold responsible for that. Again, you could make the point, well, wait a minute, you're the one that called the out with me from the far hash. I was never very comfortable throwing a rolled out to the wide side of the field when your quarterback is on the far hash. But by the same token, you've got a quarterback that you got to make all the throws. You got to execute what I call. He's obviously going to hold Hall responsible because it looks like Derek Anderson's getting ready to go in.
And he said that he would scale back 30% of the plays, go with what Hall was familiar with, Ken Wisenhunt. It's not working. So the penalty from the 15 makes Connor Bart's kick a little bit more difficult. As Laurent Stevens-Howling has the return. And good field position for Arizona. And not letting go. Keeping him short of the 45-yard line was Michael Spurlock. A penalty flag comes in after a big special teams play.
And this is going to be regrettable for whatever team it's against because it wasn't anywhere near the play. It looks like it was up near the 40-yard line. Let's see what they come up with.
Bucs had 12 penalties last week. They have been very good in that department prior to that game. And remember, there was a conference call this week with the commissioner on, not just with referees, all officials, about getting it right and getting it right fast so they wouldn't drag out the game with the calls.
After the play, there are 2 fouls. Personal foul, late hit, number 23. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 54.
Oh boy.
Those penalties offset.
Yep.
First down.
It's on Myron Lewis of the Buccaneers and Gerald Hayes of the Arizona Cardinals, who is just activated for this game.
And that's the official shooting the shot over the bow of the team, saying, hey guys, calm down here, neither one of you guilty enough. And here we see Derek Anderson coming in. Ken Wisenhunt has seen enough, felt like he has to go now with the veteran presence of Anderson.
And when we asked Wisenhunt about Anderson, he said he did what I thought he could do, come off the bench and lead the offense last week, and that's what he'll have to do here. But he gets a chance earlier, trailing by 7. Right hand off to Wells. First down inside the 45 of Tampa Bay.
And immediate with them coming in with the veteran, Tampa gets into a shell defense. Okay, you're going to take a shot with your veteran quarterback right from the get-go, and Arizona shooting it down the middle with the run play. Now the chess match changes up a little bit for Raheem Morris because he's got a different play, or he's got a different quarterback in there than what he prepared for all week long.
And with Derek Anderson, as you see Ryan Sims, the injured Buccaneer player, down on the field, it is not an injury to Max Hall. It is a coach's decision from the Arizona bench. Ken Wisenhunt going with Derek Anderson, doesn't want to let this game slip through his fingers. They're at home against a team they feel they can beat.
And here's the interesting thing for the Arizona Cardinals now and Ken Wisenhunt. You've made the change to Max Hall because you said this gives us our best chance to win. And you now have to go back to the guy who you took out. This is not due to injury, as you said, because the guy we thought gave us the best chance to win isn't, and we're going to go with the other guy. Now, the team will rally around it. They like Anderson. He's been to a Pro Bowl. But this is the unique situation you have between the quarterback and not only the head coach. This is the play caller now. So it's that double duo here of responsibility that Ken Wisenhunt has in having to make this decision. And like Raheem Morris, he's got to change his mindset because I got a different guy under center who has different strengths than the guy I had prepare all week.
And I talked with Derek Anderson as Ryan Sims walks off the field. You can hear more of Brian Billick at foxsports.com and coach speak during the week. Derek Anderson before the game, one of the first players out on the field warming up, saying, I know my role. I'll be ready when they call on me. Got some of the reps this week, but also worked the scout team. And now steps in with 6 minutes to go in the first half and a 21-14 Buccaneer advantage. Anderson to throw for Breaston. It's a catch. Aqib Talib was right there with him.
And Tampa's going to take a good, long, hard look at this. Did he come down with the control of the ball all the way through? He's clearly in bounds. Nice jump by Breaston.
Is he juggling it?
Does he have control all the way down? Feet are in. Boy, I say that's a catch. He brought it in just at the last minute.
Raheem is challenging.
And it's worth the challenge. And again, let's go through the challenge. You got guys up in the booth. What do they see? You know, they see nothing. Trust me. This is worth the challenge because this is a big play. He may or may not know what have happened, but it's worth the challenge.
As we have seen this year, the emphasis of controlling the ball all the way to the ground. And it appeared that he did.
Yeah, and I think the key here, it started to move a little bit. He clearly got his feet in bounds. Let's listen to Ron Winters. All right. I don't know quite what they're waiting
we also
for.
have an injured player down on the field.
That's
the
what the
10-yard
factor
line.
is. Clearly he goes up. See, you bobble it there, but he's got control, both feet in bounds. He gains control going down, and it never moved once he got to the sideline. That was the key.
And Styles G. White is walking off. Earlier, Ryan Sims walked off on his own power as we get another look at the play. That was great footwork by Breaston.
Well, and had he not got, if we can look at this one more time and then freeze it just as he goes down. Nice job in the truck, guys, here, if you can help me out. If he hadn't gotten that foot down, that last little foot down, because right here, as he's losing the ball, had that foot been going out of bounds as he came down right here, he's got this left foot, then watch the right, stop right there. He's got both feet in, and he's got control of the ball. That's a heck of a catch.
Rich Dewey, our director.
Tampa Bay, the challenger ruling on the field of a completed pass.
And this is worth a challenge. I don't criticize. I'm not going to criticize Raheem Morris for doing this because, again, you got guys up in the booth screaming and yelling, it was in, it was out, was ever. You just don't get it quick enough. He had to make that call. Now, the injury might have given him a little more time had he seen that to make the call because he could have waited for his guys to see it. But I have no problem with him challenging this because this is a big play.
A 33-yard gain, and Derek Anderson showed you his arm strength right away and his confidence.
Well, and getting Steve Breaston back, what a huge get for them to balance up to this point. He's missed the last 3 games. It's all about Larry Fitzgerald. Steve Breaston really developing. You know, he was kind of the third amigo, so to speak, when they had Anquan Bolin here with Fitzgerald. That's just a great play. He was the speed guy to open it up. That's just a great play by Steve Breaston.
And the fans are cheering as they play it here.
Well, they're replaying. They showed my circling up there. They're applauding either my circling or the catch. I'm not quite sure. I kind of like the circling myself, but I'll give him credit for a great catch.
And Raheem Morris has shown he's aggressive as a coach, whether it's with his statements or the way he pushes his players to play better.
And that was, make no mistake now, I mean, I've been getting after Max Hall here pretty good. But that was just a jump ball by Derek Anderson. It's not like that. He just had trust in Steve Breaston coming up with the ball. But that's what Derek Anderson does. When he came out of college at Oregon State, we drafted in Baltimore. We, meaning Ozzie Newsome and I, not you.
Yeah, I didn't work with you at that point.
Yeah, but you'd have taken him too. But this was a young man that when you visit with his coach, Mike Riley said, look, you're not going to like him in practice. You're not like him trying him out. But this guy makes things happen. Well, he just made something happen.
And remember, we mentioned that the officials were on a conference call, referees, all officials, with the commissioner, Roger Goodell, this week after there were some controversial calls. And part of the discussion was about let's move this along a little bit better and let's try to be as accurate as we can on the field. And that's what they're trying to do here with the Tampa Bay challenge. Remember, Ken Wisenhunt challenged and lost on the opening drive on a 3rd down pass play, incompletion to Beanie Wells. And Ron Winters is ready to clarify this one for us.
I think Raheem knows this one's going to stand.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It is a catch. Received about 2 feet down the line with control of the ball. Tampa Bay is charged for the first team timeout.
And so the Bucs lose a timeout. No matter how long it takes, if you get it right, that's the most important thing.
And that's the key. And this is what the replay system is for. This is just a heck of a play. A lot of elements to it. Did they have control? Were the feet in bounds? The system got it right.
Well, you got it right away. You're better up here.
And it didn't take me as long. So
you didn't have to yell at the official from down on the sideline like you used to do. Beanie Wells is in after the 33-yard pickup on 1st and 10. Wells with McCoy trying to wrap his arms around him. Falls forward. It'll be 2nd down. Clock running here.
Yeah, I think these guys may need a new shoe contract. They're having trouble with these shoes. Derek Anderson's been around long enough. I know he's got a good shoe contract. Max Hall may have to get another one.
Buccaneers, by the way, 1 out of 2 when it comes to challenges so far this year. 2nd down 6. In the red zone today, the Cardinals 2 for 2 with a couple of touchdowns. Wells, and the Bucs stop him short of the 5-yard line, so it'll bring up 3rd down. And they can get a 1st down before getting into the end zone. I've seen barefoot kickers, but that's got to be aggravating when you try to take a play, call a play, and run an offense.
Well, it's just distracting here for him, but this will be an interesting call as well. These are the types of throws, and I'm assuming that it'll be a pass here. It may not be. But Derek Anderson, this is where he's gotten a little bit of trouble with not most accurate passer in the world. Got to be very careful. Not a lot of room down here. You want to maintain at the very least the position for 3 points.
Jason Wright checks in. 3 wide receivers. Anderson dumps it to Wright, and right there with him is Barrett Ruud. Wrapped him up and brought him down.
Great play by Ruud. This is just a little quick inside screen. You're hoping everything separates real quick. Takes an experienced linebacker to read that. Ruud did an excellent job.
It's going to be 4th down.
Ruud's right into here. You can see he's got his eyes on it right now. He's going to watch the set of this tackle, and I want you to watch the way he diagnoses immediately, sidesteps the pulling guard. Great veteran play. And they're going for it.
And you saw they only have 1 timeout. Anderson came over to the bench, got the play, ran back to the huddle.
You better use that timeout here.
Clock is running. They need 2 on 4th down. Derek Anderson. End zone incomplete. Wow. Intended for Preston.
And Derek Anderson's pleading his case about the clock didn't get pushed up quick enough, but I don't know that you want to rush into a 4th down call like that.
This is a big stop by the Buccaneers.
They get tied up inside. The ball actually gets tipped, looks like it. Oh boy, it must have just changed at the last minute because Preston just couldn't get his hands on it. Went off the helmet and
of an offensive lineman.
Couldn't change. It changed the trajectory for Steve Preston. He saw it all the way, just couldn't pull it in.
So after a big pass play got him down there to Preston, they fail on 4th down. The Bucs defense with a major stop, and Cadillac Williams in his own end zone. Ernest Graham gets the carry, the fullback. Let's take a look at the pass and see where the helmet was.
He had lots of time, and you're just going to see as the ball comes in, it's going to hit off the top of the helmet right here, just bounced right off the center. Faneca's, and Preston sees it. He's tracking. He's got his hands on it. Just couldn't quite pull it in.
So now the Cardinal defense.
That's a heck of a call here. This reminds me of Bobby Bowden saying that, hey, don't get nervous. One of us is about to score. Let's see how aggressive Tampa Bay wants to be with Josh Freeman.
On 2nd down from his own 5, LeGarrette Blount checks in. He gets it. Met hard around the 6-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down. Clock running. We're nearing the 2-minute warning. Bucs with 2 timeouts, the Cardinals with 1, and look at the rushing yards for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, this is the most surprising. They brought in LeGarrette Blount thinking they could get a more physical rushing game going, and obviously the passing yards, the big play late. Tampa Bay, 2 first downs. You just get no continuity that way.
Every statistical category favoring the Cardinals, and yet the Bucs are leading. That's how they've been winning games. Tampa Bay leads at the 2-minute warning. Bucs at their own 6-yard line. They've yet to convert a 3rd down.
We're going to find out if Raheem Morris trusts his quarterback, Josh Freeman, here, whether they just hand off a draw or they're going to let him try to throw backed up into his own end zone.
LeGarrette Blount powers for what looks to be a Tampa Bay first down. And it is 6 feet, 250 pounds, and he got it.
This is just body on body. They motion into the edge here. Excuse me, I got my wrong clicker here. Motioning in the edge to build the side they want to go to. This is the size of LeGarrette Blount. You hand it off on 3rd and 7 or 8. You're counting on sheer size to get you the last 1 or 2 yards.
Cadillac Williams checks in. You said, will he trust Freeman? And Raheem Morris trusted Blount. On 1st and 10. Freeman to throw. Completes. Across the 30-yard line is Spurlock. It's another Bucs first down at the 34, and moving quickly because they only have the 2 timeouts.
And this is as passive a look as Josh Freeman's going to get. He's going to try to take advantage of it, see if he can come away with at the very least 3. Communicating to the back, who do you have? We don't want any protection mistakes here.
Cadillac Williams is in, the better receiver, out of the backfield, and he dropped the ball that was just across the 35-yard line. I think I just jinxed the poor guy on Halloween. Coming up on the Visa halftime report, Kurt Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy will have scores and highlights from around the league, and the Fox Sports ticker as up to the second scores and stats, all the earlier games. And the Seahawks are losing at the half, something the Cardinals are concerned with in the NFC West.
Tampa Bay has 2 timeouts up here, so they've got lots of time to try to move this thing into field goal range.
And Connor Barth has made field goals beyond 50 yards this season, last season.
Josh Freeman in total control of the protection scheme, telling everybody where to go.
He has time. The coverage. Did Spurlock hang on to that? He turned and made the catch. And what a catch, going out of bounds. Inside the 40 of Arizona.
We talked with Josh Freeman and Mike Williams about them working on the back shoulder throw. Well, they obviously are working it with Spurlock as well. Josh Freeman doing a great job just throwing the ball, throwing the receiver open. That's exactly what that was. I'm going to throw it in about the only place we can complete this. That was a beautiful throw and catch.
Spurlock, who was once a Cardinal, in his second go-round with the Bucs. It's a 1st and 10 from the 37 of Arizona. Freeman through the hands of Williams. It'll be 2nd and 10. 40 seconds to go here.
Well, that's 2 drops by Williams. I mean, people are talking about Mike Williams as possibly the rookie of the year. We've seen a 3rd down drop in the 1st quarter and a drop there. Josh Freeman needs a little more help than this. They need, what, another 5-6 yards to get into field goal range. You're close enough now. You don't want to dismiss touchdown. I still got 2 timeouts, and I'm at 40 seconds. I've got plenty of time.
And you can run the football if you have to get close.
Here again, Josh Freeman with that young offense displaced line, getting everybody pointed out as to where they belong. Here comes the pressure.
Freeman with time, and it's intercepted. That's Adrian Wilson. There's a flag down at the 36-yard line.
Well, we'll have to see what this is. Adrian Wilson's already been called for defensive holding one time. Let's see if he got the advantage on the receiver this time because of that.
As you pointed out, and as Josh Freeman told you in our meetings, I'm going to watch where 24 is.
Pass interference. Defense number 24.
Must have got his hand on him a little bit. Oh, that's a huge break for Josh Freeman and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
So right now you're looking at a 52-yard field goal. That's makeable.
And that now, obviously with the penalty, they're going to walk off the penalty here in a second.
Stops the clock,
which is the best part of it.
Gives you the first down.
But now you got to keep in mind, you can't let yourself get sacked out of field goal range. That's got to be a part of the play calling. They're reconvening here. I'm not quite sure what they're
Josh Freeman is talking with the official.
They're pushing the clock. They had to give him time. 33 seconds, 2 timeouts. You got lots of time, but you want to be careful. You can't get sacked into a longer field goal attempt here, so that has to be a part of the play call.
Connor Barth is 10 out of 12 this season. His career long is 54. His season long is 53.
Looked like they were going to have pressure in here. They brought some pressure, but then they rolled off. You can see right there. Must have been just a grab just as he came out of the break.
Mike Williams on the right for Josh Freeman. Cadillac Williams is helping him out in the backfield for protection, as you pointed out. Quick pass, complete. Trying to get out of bounds, and he does. It's Kellen Winslow near the 30-yard line. Good
now,
usage of the clock.
With 2 timeouts, normally as you get underneath 18 seconds, you need 18 seconds to what's called bingo or rush your field goal unit on. So that has to be a part of your thought process. But with 2 timeouts, you can hold on to one in your back pocket. That's not an issue. He can run the ball here. He can drop the ball off here. He can throw it down the field. He's got everything in his arsenal to go to right here.
What do you think? A shot to the end zone?
Well, it doesn't have to be all the way to the end zone, but I might find an intermediate shot in behind this pressure on the linebackers.
They're going to run it inside to Cadillac Williams, who gets down to the 20-yard line. First down, Tampa Bay, and they use a timeout.
Did they? Yeah, you could have either killed it there and held on to the timeout. They used the timeout. Now you got to keep this other one in your back pocket. You're clearly within field goal range. You're in a situation, even a sack isn't going to take you out of a field goal, so that's a good thing. You don't have to opt for the maximum protection. They're in a great position here to do whatever it is they want to do.
Coming up here, the Visa halftime report. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, Jimmy. They'll have scores and highlights from around the league, and the Fox Sports Ticker has up to the second scores and stats. Heard them on the pregame show, the #1 pregame show in America. Talk about the Buccaneers.
I'm going to find 2 people. I'm going to find number 19 Mike Williams for a jump ball in the end zone. I don't mean literally a jump ball, but in the back of the end zone. I'm going to find 82 Kellen Winslow somewhere intermediate to see if he can catch it and get into the end zone.
10th play of the drive, and this isn't to win a game in the 4th quarter for Josh Freeman, but this is an impressive drive using the clock in this situation.
All right, you got Winslow, you got Williams up here at the top, and you got Winslow right into here. These are the 2 guys I'm going to watch.
Cadillac Williams inside the 5.
Get up and kill it. Get up and kill it. You have time to kill it.
Clock running, 10 seconds. And timeout
Use
call.
the timeout. Yeah, see now.
You'll have none remaining.
And here's the issue. Yeah, that's the issue I have with that. You had plenty of time to kill it. Now that gives you more options. You want to run the ball on this down? You can do it because you got the timeout in your back pocket. You're underneath 9 seconds, so this is all or nothing. You either get it into the end zone or nothing at all. You can't hand it off. You can't throw it shallow underneath. You can't take a sack because now you're taking points off the ball, off the board. This is nothing but an end zone shot. If you'd have got up and killed it, you might have had time to take a shot. You could have run the ball and still called timeout. Would have been tight. Greg Olsen knows now whatever throw he makes, and he's probably telling Josh Freeman right now, son, this has got to be in the end zone, nothing underneath.
Because what Greg Olsen, the offensive coordinator, has done such a great job in the development of Josh Freeman for Raheem Morris, doesn't want is to come out with nothing.
Not after a drive like this.
Nine seconds to go.
There's your jump ball guy right there.
Freeman, end zone, incomplete. Intended for Maurice Stovall, one of the veteran receivers who's been a backup. So now with 5 seconds, you don't risk, you bring in Connor Barth.
And keep in mind now, Arizona's got tall corners with Cromartie and Toller. This is a lot of pressure on a quarterback. He's in the, Greg Olsen's on the headset going, okay, we're going to throw this up, but whatever you do, don't throw an interception. Well, now you got to err on the side of it being deep and high, and you're asking a lot of a quarterback to be that precise. And oh, by the way, don't turn the ball over.
Stovall 6'5", Toller 6 feet, Rogers Cromartie 6'2", the other corner, as Connor Barth tries to give on a 21-yard field goal the Bucs a 10-point lead. The kick is good.
Great drive by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Josh Freeman.
Connor Barth winning the confidence of his coach after kicking so well last week. And Raheem Morris and the Buccaneers. Are they the best team in the NFC? Right now, they're the best team in the desert. At the half, they lead the Cardinals 24-14. Stick around for all the highlights of the afternoon of the Visa Halftime Report. Getting ready for the start of the third quarter, and Josh Freeman has led the Bucs to a 10-point lead here in Arizona, trying to win their 5th game of the year and their 5th consecutive road game, which would equal a franchise record. It started well for Max Hall and the Cardinals. The touchdown toss to Larry Fitzgerald. Geno Hayes, an interception run back for the Bucs. Beanie Wells answers with a touchdown. But then Max Hall to Mike Williams on a 47-yard touchdown. And then Aqib Talib, his first NFL touchdown with an interception run back. They add a Connor Barth field goal, and it's a 24-14 advantage with Brian Billick, Chris Myers. Hope you're enjoying the NFL on Fox. And again, happy Halloween. Well, if you're Ken Wisenhunt, where do you turn now? You started Hall, you bench him in favor of Derek Anderson. You're down 10.
Well, and Derek Anderson moved the ball. The problem was you had a disjointed 4th down call, and Tampa Bay went the length of the field to separate the score by 10. Tampa Bay gets the ball first. You desperately need a 3-and-out by your defense to get the emotional ebb and flow back here at home.
And the Bucs with a makeshift offensive line. They haven't dominated, but they've held up well under the leadership of Josh Freeman.
As Raheem Morris says, this isn't a game about statistics, because those statistics haven't been in their favor, but they're sitting here with a 10-point lead.
So wearing the black jerseys for the first time this year, it's been a house of horrors for the Cardinals, even though it's a home game, as Raheem Morris got attention around the country this week. People weren't paying enough attention to his Bucs when he said we're the best team in the NFC.
And what he was doing was challenging his team to say, guys, we need to start thinking about ourselves in this way, that we've earned the right to talk about this. If you can't talk about it, you can't be it. He was trying to pump his troops up, and they've responded.
And he clearly said, I wasn't taking a shot at anybody else. I believe in our young team. And we only have 2 losses, and nobody else has fewer losses than we do, as Feely starts the third quarter, and Sammy Stroughter, who had a costly muff on a punt return, is back to return the kick here. Spun around and knocked out at the 25-yard line, and let's check in down on the sidelines with Jamie Maggio. Jamie?
Chris, thank you. I spoke with Coach Wisenhunt heading into the half, and he said those 2 turnovers were really unacceptable, and it would be a completely different ball game had those not happened. He said he's going to tell his team to keep playing hard, but they cannot commit those turnovers. As for Coach Morris, he said he's very proud of his defense, and leading going into the half is an unfamiliar situation for them. So he said he told his team they need to finish out the next 30 minutes of football strong and play hard. Chris, Brian, back to you.
Thanks, Jamie. They've been comeback kids behind Josh Freeman, but now they have a 10-point lead. Let's see how they play that with LeGarrette Blount in the backfield. And he gets it, and it's a pretty good hole out to the 32-yard line. Brian, let's check the halftime stats and what jumps out at you.
Well, we've already said the stats don't mean a thing, but we'll look at them anyway.
Well, that's the first thing a coach
because they
looks
do
at.
mean something after all. I'm a coach after all, and I got to work with stats. But the big thing that jumps out at you here when you look at these stats, my gosh, 20 minutes time of possession for the Cardinals, 2-1 almost, and you're down by 10 points.
And they only average 25 minutes a game. But they're down 24-14.
Adrian Wilson down in the box. This is the way they want to play it.
And LeGarrette Blount, who had a big run to get him a first down after that 4th down gamble, got him out of the hole, set him up for the field goal, and will be the workhorse as he was last week in the Bucs comeback win against the Rams.
Well, the idea of LeGarrette Blount having a big physical back, this type of game right now, on the road, up by 10, you got a 3rd and short, you've got to physically be able to push people around if you're going to be a good football in this league. With Blount coming out now, yeah, it's interesting that he's out, and now Cadillac Williams, who's not a bad back, don't get me wrong, but when you've got 240 pounds, I'm not sure I don't keep him in on 3rd and short.
Cadillac averaging 2.5 yards a carry. They need 1 here. Clock running down, the play clock. And the Bucs are going to have to use a timeout, so it's obviously their first of the second half. But on an important down, they'll talk it over.
Today's Game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By Dish Network, let's watch TV. By the new Ford Edge, the world has never seen a crossover quite like this. And by Bud Light, it's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
Bucks use the timeout. Cadillac Williams out, but Garrett Blunt is in.
Yeah, I like this personnel grouping better between Blunt and Freeman. You got 500 pounds that you can push for this third down. Plus, they've got their blocking tight ends in. Kellen Winslow is out.
Blunt gets it. And look at him fight for the first down. He came in with 100 yards on 21 carries, had a touchdown. But the muscle is what he brings to this Bucs team.
And when you sit with this young man, you can just see they're just going to get downhill. Straightest distance between 2 points is downhill, right? A straight line. And this is the size at 250 pounds. I say 240. He's close with 250. That's what you're counting on, is that always the positive yards.
Falling forward, he gets it. Buck fans are thinking of the A-Train, Mike Allstott. And a lot of pointing going on at 1st and 10. And there's a penalty flag.
False start. Offense number 77. A 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That's on James Lee, Brian, one of those fill-in offensive linemen playing in place of Trueblood, who so far has done a pretty good job.
And Josh Freeman is dictating the protection scheme and the run scheme for this young line. Rare for a second-year quarterback, but that kind of communication on the road, always problematic. I'm surprised we haven't had more procedure penalties.
Because it is noisy here. And there goes Freeman again, trying to get everybody in place now on 1st and 15. Blunt carries, and look, Garrett Blunt all the way to the 44-yard line. How is Freeman handling the pressure?
Well, let's go to a Billick one-on-one, Chris, and you do it one of 3 ways. First, you're going to see all the pointing that's going on by Josh Freeman. What he's doing is one of 3 things. First, it's for a hot or a break-off. You bring a guy, I'll throw a quick slant or a hitch. I can redirect protection, which means I'll control both the backs and the line, or I can check the play totally. I think they're redirecting the protection with their now second-year quarterback to make sure everybody's on the same page.
And he has directed well so far with new linemen in, running back shuffling, rookie receivers. The second-year pro gives to LeGarrette Blunt. And this time the Cardinal defense smothers him to stop him at the 38, 39-yard line. Gerald Hayes has been in on some downs, again activated this week from the linebacker spot for Arizona, so it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I'm going to be interested to see now if Billy Davis, the defensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals, wants to bring pressure. That's the vogue thing in the league right now. On a 3rd and long, bring pressure, make you drop the ball off. But this big quarterback, hard to get it down. Billy Davis knows that. He's got to like his matchup, though, with his veteran corners and this young receiving corps.
He said you don't have to be a blitz guru, you just have to be a stop-'em guru.
Kellen Winslow Jr. keying this down.
Freeman throws, complete. Winslow dropped it. Had it in his hands and threw it to the grass.
I think he was trying to, he knew he was short on the first down. You can watch Kellen Winslow here. He has breaks out. He knows he's a little short. He's going to break out on a quick out route. I think as he came out of it, he knows, you know what, I got to get turned up quickly to get the first. He forgot the ball when he turned up to do it. 4th
drop of the game by Tampa Bay receivers. 1 catch so far for Winslow, and Adrian Wilson did a nice job of staying right with him. So Robert Malone back to punt. Andre Roberts back to receive. Inside is 10. And again, excellent special teams. Keeps him short of the 20-yard line. So Derek Anderson will try and lead the Arizona Cardinals back, trailing by 10. And on that special teams play, Jim Howry was knocked down by the sideline and being tended to.
Yeah, right here, boy. He takes a shot. I don't know if he got the wind knocked out of him.
Maurice Stovall ran into him.
Boy, he went down to it, and he was down like Frazier. I don't know if he if he got. It looks like hopefully he just got winded there as opposed to a rib. Yeah, he's going, darn, that hurt.
The field judge is okay.
Okay.
He'll tough it out. And we certainly appreciate that, as Beanie Wells is the back on 1st and 10. Fitzgerald to the left for Derek Anderson, who replaced Max Hall. Anderson down the middle of the field. Steve Preston inside Buccaneer territory around the 46-yard line. They connected on a big 33-yard gainer.
Barrett Ruud got caught one-on-one with Preston coming out of the middle. We can't say Ruud, but Preston's going to come all the way over here. I don't know that's the matchup I want. Barrett Ruud coming out of that Tampa 2, trailing him all the way across the field. Preston's presence being felt after a 3-game absence.
Yeah, and the Buccaneers do not have a sack in this game. They only have 5 so far this year. They're going to have to put pressure on Derek Anderson, or he'll do that all day. A 37-yard connection just beyond the 45 of the Bucs. Anderson pointing, throwing, and incomplete. Excellent coverage there by Rondé Barber. Let's get a game break. Check in with Kurt Menefee.
Well, after a drop ball by Percy Harvin was called a Brett Favre interception, the Patriots took advantage of the turnover. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis from 13 yards out, and suddenly the Vikings in a big hole, down 11, approaching the 4th quarter. Chris and Brian Billick.
Thanks, Kurt. And Brett Favre, including playoffs, his 316th consecutive start. And for young Max Hall, he had his 3rd NFL start, but went to the bench in the first half as Derek Anderson took over and attempts to throw. And a little high, incomplete. No flag. It was intended for Ben Patrick.
Yeah, he went a vertical down the numbers, and I don't know that Tampa didn't get away with a little pull there.
That was Cody Grimm.
Cody Grimm, Hall of Fame Russ Grimm's son. But Patrick, not a big part of the offense. This is a wide receiver-driven offense. Here you can see Cody Grimm. He's just going to run down the field. I think he reached up just a little bit early just to pull back on Patrick. As I said, the tight end's not a huge part of this offense. Nice one to sneak it to every now and then if you don't pay attention to it.
So Jason Wright is in and running back on 3rd and 10.
Here comes the pressure.
Picked up. Anderson steps up. Off his hands and intercepted. Now there's a flag down at the 30, but Sean Jones ends up with the football at the 40. And this might have been a call away from the ball.
It was, and this might save Arizona. Uncharacteristic.
There's another flag at the 50. Back around the line of scrimmage.
Got flags all over the place.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding, offense number 89. Holding, number 20 defense. By rule, those penalties offset. Replay, 3rd down.
It was on Rondé Barber and Ben Patrick.
Yeah, you're going to see the hold up in here on the left side to begin with. And boy, this is a zero, not a zero sum, because right here you're talking about an interception coming off the board. Arizona comes out ahead in this equation clearly.
Cardinals catch a break despite the holding of Patrick and Barber. So Derek Anderson gets another shot on 3rd and 10. See how the Bucs defense plays it.
Very much a shell coverage here. They're showing some a shell too deep.
Quick pass to early Doucette. And the Bucs were ready for that. Styles, G. White. The fans don't like it. That was excellent defense. What do you think of the call?
Well, you give the other guys, they get paid too. Those defensive guys, they know it's a 3rd and long. The whole idea, we've seen it before. Go passive, make you throw it underneath. We'll rally up and make the play. We're an athletic young defense. You can't force the ball down the field. Most 3rd and longs are converted catching the ball short of the distance and someone running for the 1st down.
Styles, G. White playing an end and sometimes dropping into coverage, making the play, forcing the Ben Graham punt. And at least the Cardinals can pin the Bucs back inside their 5. And no, an aggressive move that knocked the ball into the end zone. A missed opportunity for the Cardinals. So the Bucs will get it at the 20-yard line, leading by 10.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Verizon, the official wireless service provider of the NFL.
We welcome you back here at Arizona. The Bucs will take over with a 10-point lead and 9:22 to go in the 3rd quarter. Trying to go to 5-2. That would tie them for the top spot in the NFC South. The Atlanta Falcons are idle this week. LeGarrette Blount in the backfield, 8 rushes, 30 yards. Gets the ball, and this time he slips out of a tackle. Still gets back to the line of scrimmage.
I got to go back to this punt, Chris. This was a beautiful punt by Graham. I want you to watch the angle of this ball. This is classic rugby style back kick, and I want you to watch the face of this ball right here. This thing is pointing down. He does a great job of getting just the right rotation. Missed opportunity by Arizona because this thing kicks back into the field to play right where you want it. Then Styles White kicks it right back in the end zone. Missed opportunity by Arizona. Nice kick by Graham.
One of the Cardinal players overly aggressive on special teams. 2nd down 10. Freeman in trouble. Throws, completes to Ryan Purvis, playing in his first NFL game. He's been on the practice squad. He's been in preseason games. Used to wear 46, but activated for this game and has his first NFL catch.
Well, nice job by Freeman as well, getting out of the grasp. Zutah kind of peeled the defender off, but you could just see the size of Freeman here. Watch him with the play fake and getting outside, and then watch the way he gets peeled off as the center comes around. Just a hand's not going to bring down Josh Freeman. That was all Josh Freeman in the center, Zutah.
Hometown fans want to stop on 3rd and 5. Cadillac Williams is in.
Lots of pressure.
Freeman to Spurlock. 1st down, Tampa Bay.
Feast and famine when you bring pressure on 3rd down. They brought everybody up to the line of scrimmage, figuring that this young, revamped line would have to adjust. Josh Freeman sitting inside. You can see right here, got a whole bunch of folks up in here. They're going to bring just about everybody. Everybody's pointing out, Josh Freeman, we've got a hat on a hat. No free runner. Josh Freeman now has a lot of room to throw this ball all the way across the field. One-on-one. Excellent 3rd down call and execution.
Josh Freeman operating against a pretty good defense in only his 16th NFL start. Plenty of time. Throws, and did he hang on inbounds? Yes. Nice work by Mike Williams to keep his feet in on the sideline.
And classic Josh Freeman, get outside the pocket, buy a little time. Very gifted athlete for a guy. This guy was a soccer player. And here you're just going to see him work all the way across the field. He was looking for Kellen Winslow deep. Rolled out of the pocket. Williams is the last guy he's figuring is going to show up, but he just continued on. Looked like he had control.
At 6'6", coaches rave about his footwork after a 22-yard pickup. LeGarrette Blount in on 1st and 10. Blount gets it, tries to find a hole, and eventually does inside the 40. Now, you were not necessarily sold on Josh Freeman when he came out in the draft.
Well, it was just you needed to see more. What you still need to see out of Josh Freeman, and I like what I see, make no mistake. He has to develop what Bill Walsh would call the full repertoire of throws. He can throw what he sees. He's still learning to anticipate, and he still needs to be able to drop that ball in behind the dropping linebacker and in front of that safety. That nuance of throw. I don't doubt that he'll get there. I don't think he's quite there yet.
For a 2nd-year player who's operating a young offense rather efficiently. Blount. Tough yards. It'll be 3rd down for the Bucs as they get near the 35, 36-yard line. What Blount, even when there's 2 or 3 guys on him, he's falling forward.
And both Josh Freeman and Greg Olson, the offensive coordinator, talked about the thing they love about Blount is that it's always positive yards. It might only be 2 yards, but he's always going to get positive yards because of the size and physicality.
Blount was a track guy. Said for his size, he still thinks the speed measures up. So 3rd and 4.
We've said it before. Let's find out where Kellen Winslow is. He's down here on the left side, right back in here.
Freeman steps up in the pocket. He's on the move. Josh Freeman is going to run for a Tampa Bay 1st down and slides at the 15 of Arizona. A 21-yard gain.
And I've said it before, you don't have no idea how big this guy is until you stand next to him. You're just going to see, and this is just a 4-man rush. They didn't bring any pressure. Normally would have time. He's waiting it out. Obviously good coverage. Steps up, climbs the pocket. We've heard that term before. And now again, good foot speed for a guy this size. You're close to 250 pounds, 255 pounds, 6'6". He can fall forward for a first down if it's 3rd and 5.
Two huge third down conversions on this time-consuming drive for the Bucs. The handoff to LeGarrette Blount, and he has a Tampa Bay touchdown. And there's a flag down over at the 15. It looked like it came in after the score.
Offside, defense number 97 in the neutral zone to snap. A penalty decline, but results in a touchdown.
And this one hurt because it was right down the gut of that Arizona defense. Right in. Normally you say run between the tackles. We're running between the guards. Just right down here in the last little bit. Just size this guy. Just going to give a little shrug. Michael Adams got no chance. You hit a big guy like LeGarrette Blount that high, you got no chance of bringing him down.
Just rolled over the nickel back. His second career rushing touchdown. He has found a home in Tampa Bay. Connor Bart. The kick is good, so it's now 31-14.
Yeah, LeGarrette Blount showing everything that they had in mind when they brought him into Tampa Bay.
His first action came against the Steelers. He ran well last week in a comeback win against the Rams, and he's helping the Bucs control this game now with a touchdown run. And after contact, he doesn't stop.
Well, and that's what this guy gives you. Those yards after contact are huge when you've got a big back like this. And we said it last week in Seattle. It brings a mentality to your team, a physicality to your team that every coach loves.
LaRon Stevens howling for the Cardinals. Bottled up short of the 25-yard line. Nico Kudavides making the special teams play for the Bucs. Arizona hopes to respond. Cardinals need to strike fast with veteran Derek Anderson now leading the offense, trailing 31-14 after the Bucs have run off some points here. And LeGarrette Blount, the undrafted rookie out of Oregon who was in Tennessee's training camp. The Bucs pick him up on waivers, had some injuries to running backs. They've given him an opportunity and he's responded. So now Derek Anderson is on the spot. Second straight week in relief of Max Hall. Beanie Wells spins at the 25-26 yard line. Geno Hayes gets it after maybe a 1-yard gain.
Well, Arizona doesn't have to get into panic mode yet, but they can kind of see it. Right now it's about an orchestrated drive. Ken Whisenhunt just wants a good solid drive down the field for the score. You're not going to be going for it on 4th down or anything like that here, but they got to get something going and have a little pace to them in and out of the huddle. Doesn't have to be no huddle.
They'll have to throw the football to get back in it, despite the Bucs, a team that other teams have run on. Pass is complete. Looks like it's short to Steve Breaston of where the first down marker is. So it'll bring up a 3rd down. See how they mark it. Maybe a yard to go.
And they're bringing in their their bigger people. This looks like a 21 personnel or 2 back, 1 tight end, to use the NFL vernacular. Again, this is all about just putting a solid drive together. You don't need to panic. I'm sure that's what Ken Whisenhunt's telling his troops. But at some point here, you need to get a big chunk.
So Beanie Wells is in. On 3rd and 1. They throw. Pass is complete to Preston. Looks like he got across the 35-yard line. Good enough for a first down.
And they'll likely get in and out of their 3 wides package here. They need to stretch the field a little bit. They can still run out of this package. But obviously with Breaston and Fitzgerald on either side, as I said earlier, the tight end's not a huge part of this offense. Early Doucette in the slot.
See how the Bucs play it on defense.
They're passive 2 deep zone right now.
Derek Anderson. Complete. Inside the 40 is early Doucette. Attacking the middle part of the field.
They are, and Tampa's in a surprise, a Tampa 2.
Okay.
Which sends the middle linebacker down the middle of the field. You've got to take that kind of throw away. You've got to favor that to the 2 receiver side. Tampa Bay, oddly enough, not running the Tampa 2 particularly well in that play. But you can't let the number 2 receiver out of the slot run down the middle of the field like that.
25-yard pickup. Jason Wright is in from the 39 of the Bucs. Shovel pass, and Wright slips a tackle. From behind, they bottle him up short of the 31-yard line. A healthy first down pickup.
Well, they got a nice drive going here, but now you're getting down to that red zone area. And Derek Anderson was like last week. Derek Anderson comes in, looked better than Max Hall, and here you're just going to see fakes the toss out into here, and then right there just a little toss underneath, kind of like a counter or a trap, little trickeration there. Not a bad way to open things up a little bit, but they're going to get in the end zone. They're going to have Derek Anderson make a throw down the field, likely to Larry Fitzgerald.
On 2nd and 1, it would be a good time to do that. Anderson looks one way, throws the other way, and it is incomplete for Preston. Maybe if there's a little more under that, he might have been able to get to it.
Well, he tried to move the safety, nodding towards a Larry Fitzgerald, obviously to get them to jump it. Cody Grimm had no part of it. He went right to the seam, right down the hash. Nice job by Grimm.
Cody Grimm, the starting safety.
Please reset the game clock.
Trying to take care of the clock.
1:04.
We have 2 Hall of Fame sons on the field. How about that? Cody Grimm, son of Russ Grimm, and
Kellen Winslow.
Kellen Winslow Jr.
His father's name escapes me. But I'll catch on. Just 2 of 4 total in the NFL active players whose fathers are Hall of Famers. Of course, Chris Long, our own Howie Long from the NFL on Fox, and Jackie Slater's son. As Russ Grimm, looking on, said he had dinner with Cody before the game. They didn't talk football. And Matthew Slater plays with the Patriots, a receiver, a great offensive lineman. Jackie Slater with the Rams.
Cody made Dad buy. That's the way it should be.
And Cody having the upper hand in this battle. They only need one, and they get it to Larod Stevens-Howling, who might have more. It's going to be a touchdown, Cardinals.
Well, this is what you can do when Steve Preston shows back up. You got Larry Fitzgerald on the outside. You spread it open and then hand off the quick little trap in here. Great job by Fitzgerald. Maintain contact all the way to the end. Let the speed of Stevens-Howling show up. We said they needed a great orchestrated drive. That's exactly what they got.
Took E.J. Biggers out of the play. So with the extra point, the Cardinals behind Derek Anderson and Larod Stevens-Howling, his first career rushing touchdown. They are now within 10 as we get ready to close out the 3rd quarter.
Just a quick little trap that bounces outside. You got them all spread out in this 3 wides alignment. No pressure, bounces it outside very, very well. Cody Grimm coming in, just not enough of an angle. Great blocking down the field by Larry Fitzgerald, as we said. Great change-up call. And the speed of Stevens-Howling is what made that play.
.54 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. And when you look around the league, you know, you talk about Raheem Morris said we're the best in the NFC. The Cowboys have 1 win. The Vikings have 2. They're losing. I mean, if the Buccaneers could hold on against Arizona, it would be their 5th win of the year.
And Arizona now, Seattle's losing to Oakland, so they may not lose any ground. The NFC West is, dare I say, we see a 7-9 division win. 8-8 probably for sure.
Up for grabs. The 49ers won their 2nd game of the year earlier today. The Rams are in it at 4-4 in the NFC West. And maybe with Derek Anderson, and we'll explore with you, Coach, has to be your guy the rest of the way if you're Ken Wisenhunt and you think you can win the division or get into the playoffs. But there's a lot of football to be played here. Sammy Stroughter in the end zone. He's going to bring it out. Slips through. Penalty flag at the 30-yard line. Stroughter is down at the 40.
Well, this likely will come back. which presents an opportunity for Arizona now. We just saw Tampa Bay go the length of the field in a nice orchestrated drive. Saw Arizona come back and do the same thing.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 57 on the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Call is on Adam Hayward. Hey, next weekend on FSN, top teams in college football headline the card as we check the block.
Yeah, I can't really just, you know, when it's wide open, you can just see it. I'm sorry, I missed it, guys. Our truck's doing a heck of a job. But, you know, the field is so spread out and so wide. It's hard not to hold when you have those wide open spaces.
So maybe a momentum shift from the 15. Well, Garrett Blunt, he's still going across the 5, and the ball comes out at the end, but he appeared as if he was down. It's picked up by Gerald Hayes, and Gerald Hayes is going to go into the end zone. There's a penalty flag down at the goal line. The official is marking him out down near the goal line.
Well, we got a lot going on here. Is it a fumble? I think it's a horse collar at the end.
And Blunt is still down.
Boy, it looks like that ball was coming out. You can see it. He's down right now, but when we get a chance to look at this, first we'll let Ron Winter sort it out. I believe it was a horse collar at the end.
During the return, personal foul, illegal horse collar tackle, number 5 of the passing team. The result of the play is a touchdown. The penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Boy, what a huge change of emotion, of fortunes. Tampa Bay in total control. Blunt having a great game. You can see as he comes down here now, just as he starts to go by, he's fighting for the extra yardage. That's what a big back does. But right here, stop. You can see the ball is out. It was clearly out on his way down. I don't know if Tampa Bay plans on challenging this or not, but if they're looking at what we're seeing in the booth, unfortunately, this is a touchdown for Tampa Bay.
And Gerald Hayes, as LeGarrette Blunt turns it over. Hayes out with back surgery, his first game of the year, just activated. Supposed to be in on a limited number of plays. Scoops up the loose football and takes it in.
Yeah, Raheem's going to challenge it. And again, this is one of those, why not?
And he's already 0 for 1.
Yeah, but he's about to be 0 for 2.
But the knee, watch closely here. Could the knee be down before?
Well, again, it's got to be irrefutable evidence right there. See, the ball's out.
Tampa Bay has challenged a ruling on the field of a fumble and a return.
We'll look at it again here, and you're going to see just as he comes down. I know what you're saying here, Chris. The angle we're looking at, again, it's got to be irrefutable evidence. I don't think we have that. It was ruled, it came out right there. You can see the ball is already out as he's going down. Unless we get a different angle, I think this thing holds.
And the Bucs, if they miss this challenge, they're done for the day, unless the final 2 minutes from upstairs that they don't have any control of.
You can see it again right there. The ball is out. Not you can see as he's going down, that ball down at the angle, the ball's bouncing up. Again, I'll say it again. It was ruled a fumble. Had it been ruled the other way, you know, then maybe it would have been a tougher look. But clear, that I don't see anything there to make me change the call.
And an excellent tackle by Paris Lennon, who caused the fumble.
Where we can see coming out right there. Now that ball's out. He's going, his knees are up in the air, his backside is heading down. The ball was hanging around on his stomach.
And for Hayes, second career touchdown. And we have our third challenge of this game, as the Cardinals scoring 2 touchdowns in a matter of 23 seconds if it stands.
And I get on the system all the time. You know, for up to me, I would take the challenge part of it out. I think we can see that up in the booth with the technology we have today. I don't think we need to do this peep show thing that we do. I can say that now. Before, that cost me $75,000, but they can't find me now.
Free man up here.
Right. Fox can find me, but yeah, and the crowd wants to say they see this, that, and the other, but it's got to be irrefutable. I have not seen the view that's going to turn it the other way. I don't know that we have to do it via this orchestration.
Now watch, right in here is the knee.
No, see, his knees are up, and that ball's out right there.
Okay.
The ball is out. There's no question about it there.
I think you're right on with that.
Yeah, and I come back to the same thing unless Ron Winter's seeing something else. I remember I part of that $75,000 is when I said Johnny Greer must be looking at pictures of his grandkids in there.
Well, that wasn't nice. Your mother Mildred wouldn't appreciate that.
No, but the process will work here, and I think right now, Arizona now, what do you do with this? Now all of a sudden, we were just talking about, all of a sudden you're down 17. Now you get a nice orchestrated drive, you score, you come back one play later. Now it's ostensibly, if we kick the extra point here, and I'm assuming we will, we're back to within a 3-point game.
And it appeared that Raheem Morris of the offense went into a little bit of a protective mode running the football. And as we size this up, we will have Ron Winter break it down for us.
And Ron Winter, one of the more deliberate officials. That's my nice way of saying, dang, you take a long time to do this.
Well, as long as you're getting it right.
But he is deliberate, and he'll get it right here.
Fumble with Garrett Blunt. Run back for a touchdown by Hayes. That was the call on the field.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It is a fumble and a touchdown.
And again, I'll remind you, it's confirmed. Means that they saw on the replay exactly what they needed to say, and it confirmed the call, as opposed to it stands. I didn't see anything to change my call.
And Ron Winter was making it clear that with the touchdown of Gerald Hayes, that no more challenges for the Bucs. They lose a timeout.
Right, stop right there. See, that ball is out. His knees are not down. That's why the call was confirmed, as opposed to your confirmation. The call is confirmed.
Thank you.
I wanted to separate those two. Good Catholic kid like you.
So one timeout remaining for the Bucs.
You are Catholic, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, see, I knew that.
I always pray for a good game, regardless of who wins. That's fair. And we have a good one here.
Do we? Now we're talking about, if they make this, I don't want to be presumptuous, but
this is typical of the NFC.
Oh, it is.
How balanced it is and how close teams are. And the extra point makes it a 3-point game. So 31-28 with 33 seconds to go in the third. Let's get a game break. Check in with Kurt Menefee. Kurt?
Everyone was concerned about Brett Favre's ankle, but it was a shot to the jaw that has knocked him out of the game in New England. Carted off there, as you can see. Tavares Jackson comes in. Very first play. Finds Tafahu Tahi for a touchdown. They add the 2-point conversion. It's now 21-18 late in the fourth quarter, but obviously all concerned about Favre as he is in the locker room. Chris and Coach.
All right, thank Kurt. He did get the start. I asked you, Coach, on the ride out to the stadium today, if you were the head coach, would you have started Brett Favre?
Well, you can't not start him. But unfortunately, this kind of finish had it written and all over it. You got to let him. If he says he can go, he's Brett Favre. He's done it for how many years now? You got to give him the chance. The question was, if he went in and faltered, could you pull him? Well, right now the knockout punch to the jaw took care of it. Now, as usual, all next week we're going to be talking about what's the next step. Can he come back, or is this now Tavares Jackson's team?
Physically, you hope Brett Favre is okay.
But we got 14 points scored in the last 23 seconds. I don't know why you wouldn't want to watch this game. We're having a whole lot more fun.
An offensive explosion between the Cardinals, who are trying to get to the top of the NFC West, and the Buccaneers, who are trying to tie Tampa Bay for the top of the NFC South. And this kick through the end zone, so the Bucs will take over on the 20. We've had 3 defensive scores. We've had the Cardinals go on 4th down and fail. And now Josh Freeman, who's used to coming back in the fourth quarter, hopes that he has a lead heading into the final frame.
And you said it right there, Chris. There's a difference between bringing your team back and now being up by 3. It's kind of the same mentality. They can't get too conservative here now. They've got to do what they've done the whole game. Josh Freeman's going to have to make some plays. You're not just going to run here. And I don't know that Arizona's going to let you run because Adrian Wilson's hard down in this box right here.
Cadillac Williams in at the running back.
Changed his mind. Nope, changed his mind again.
Cadillac, a different kind of runner, goes nowhere. And Blunt on the sideline after the fumble was pointing as if physically he had taken a shot. Remember, he was laid out after the turnover.
And he has the look of him as though he's not going in with his helmet in his hand. He's saying right here, I'm okay. I'm ready to go. Put me back in, coach.
And we are winding down in the third quarter on Halloween. It's been strange so far. Darnell Dockett hopes to lead the Cardinals on defense. That's the end of the third quarter. The Bucs 31, the Cardinals 28. Fox NFL Sunday continues in a moment. There's been scoring in every quarter. What will we have here in the fourth quarter? LeGarrette Blount is back in. Josh Freeman has it. Throws and completes up near the 30-yard line. His backup tight end John Gilmore as he goes out of bounds. That turnover and run back by Hayes, the 6th return for a touchdown this season by the Cardinals. That's the most in the NFL as Gilmore does get the first down for the Bucs.
Not sure Tampa doesn't take a shot right here after a play action fake. They've run the ball a couple times. They want to bring some clock down, but we've just started the fourth quarter. I need a bigger chunky yardage here.
The momentum has shifted. There's a flag. Pre-snap.
False start. Offense number 77. 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
That's on right tackle James Lee.
Yeah, the new right tackle. We've talked many times about this line being displaced and surprised that there isn't more of this, although this crowd's beginning to get into it now. Those 2 touchdowns kind of cranked him back up. It may get a little bit loud for Josh Freeman and his troops here right now.
7th penalty on the Bucs. Complete, but Ernest Graham maybe a yard or 2, and Ernest Graham, the fullback, whose mother is gravely ill, and our thoughts are with him and his family. He's been battling a hamstring, had been home to see his mom and wanted to play. Told Coach Raheem Morris, I want to be in there, and afterwards I'll deal with whatever I have to deal with. So playing with a heavy heart and concern, but toughing it out because the Bucs had some personnel issues with injuries this week on the offensive line. And the guy who can block for Josh Freeman on 2nd and 13. Freeman goes down. Joey Porter.
Well, John Gilmore, the backup tight end, one-on-one with Joey Porter, never a good thing. You say you want to have tight end press. He just lunges. Joey Porter, the wily veteran, knew how to play this young tight end. Josh Freeman thinking he's protected on the backside. You can't lead with your head and lunge when you have to pass protect. You're trying to sell run, but he left him his quarterback one over there. Joey Porter getting his 3rd sack on the year.
Bucs are going the wrong way. 3rd and 24.
Gotta be careful with this one.
Freeman is frustrated. The communication with his center, his new left guard, Ted Larson, his new right tackle, James Lee, and they had to use a timeout.
Team timeout.
We have a timeout. Bucs lead 31-28.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Visa. More people go with Visa. By Corona, who invites you to find your beach. And by Chevrolet. Every model is backed by a 100,000-mile 5-year powertrain limited warranty.
Well, life on the road is tough because anytime you've got to have this kind of communication. Josh Freeman up here, he's pointing out the protection like we said all day. Jerry Zutah points. Now you got Adrian Wilson messing with you, trying to change your call. The center's got a lot to do, and now Josh Freeman's going, give me the ball, give me the ball. Zutah's not done yet. It's tough on the road, particularly when you're new to the position.
Live action. Out of timeouts. Screen to Cadillac Williams. The Bucs will punt.
Don't do anything stupid now. Bro, you're feeling your oats right now. You've got a nice 3 and out. This is where you got to compose yourself. Darnell Dockett's in there. Teammates pulling them off. You can jaw all you want, but do it from the sideline because we do not want to cost our team.
You always wonder what the other team thinks when the coach of the team you're playing says we're the best in the NFC.
I don't know if they listen to that or not.
They want to be the best today. That's the Cardinals' issue at home, to try to go to 4-3. Back to return, Roberts, the rookie. Malone to punt. On the run, Roberts has it at the 40 with some room and goes out of bounds in Buccaneer territory. But after the Cardinals defense did its job, what did Derek Anderson think? He'll lead the offense in a moment. Back at Arizona, these are the guys that have done it for the Cardinals on offense. With 6 minutes to go in the second quarter, Derek Anderson replaced Max Hall, who was benched after throwing another interception and was down 10. Now he has the Cardinals within 3 and in Buccaneer territory. For Preston, he's got it.
Preston took a shot here. Hopefully just maybe got the wind knocked out of him.
7th catch of the game, over 130 yards.
This is just a rail shot on the outside. Nice loft by Derek Anderson. Needed to keep it just a little wider. See Grimm come over and he lands right on that shoulder as he goes down. Hopefully it's not that. The way he's carrying himself off the field now, it looks like he's okay.
They've been working on E.J. Biggers all game. The nickelback who comes in. The corners, of course, are Barber and Talib.
Well, he was expecting help over the top from the safety on that one, and he didn't get it. Now Derek Anderson has him in position. These are the kind of throws and situations that Derek Anderson couldn't convert on that prompted Max Hall being put in. Now he has an opportunity maybe to solidify himself as the starter on this team again.
He was the starter when the season opened. He was benched in the Charger game when the Cardinals lost on the road. Hand off to Beanie Wells, knocked down hard. What a play by Rondé Barber, playing at his 200th career game.
Both Beanie Wells and LeGarrette Blount, there's times when you want to get in the air and saying, son, just get downhill. Get downhill. Rondé Barber down into here. Been doing this for so many years. Seeing run off the edge as that cover 2 corner. This guy's been doing it for a long time. 200 starts. But a guy at 5'9" and was told you're probably too small to last in this league.
And he's having a Pro Bowl year. Preston back in up at the top of your screen on 2nd and 9. Derek Anderson in the air. Doucette does hold on. Juggling it, and it'll be 3rd down.
Nice job by Doucette. He paid the price. He's down now. So often you
the Cardinals have the lead. Will take over.
Well, we talked about Josh Freeman and the comebacks that he has orchestrated. He was up by 3, and that didn't last very long. So now he's going to get another opportunity. And maybe I'm just sick enough as a coach to, you know what, I love this. With the development of this young quarterback, I'm excited to see.
Part of the Cardinal comeback. Derek Anderson off the bench, leading the Cardinal offense. 9 minutes to go. Tampa's out of timeouts. Josh Freeman to Blunt. It'll be 2nd down with Brian Billick. Chris Myers, wish you a happy holiday. Takes it back, just activated prior to this game. He's been out all year with a back injury. And the touchdown pass to Larry Fitzgerald. The Buccaneers have had 2 interceptions run back for touchdowns. Aqib Talib and Geno Hayes.
They're just going to sneak this thing.
Might try to draw him off. Freeman deep for Aurelius Ben.
Great catch. Aurelius Ben just kind of shrugging off the DB. You're going to see him just streaking down the middle field. A little bit of just a nod. Gets down deep. Just a little bit of a shrug. Nothing called there. Staying with the ball. So often that ball goes off the tip of the hands. Great catch by Ben.
It looked like a touchdown. Of course, they're out of challenges, are the Buccaneers.
That's clearly a catch. Ball bounced, and then he maybe bounced into the end zone.
The rookie second-round pick, Aurelius Marcus Ben, and it was Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor. And I know you'll appreciate this. He said, "Live every day as if it's your last."
Well, I told you, it's that Catholic upbringing you got. You got all those great stuff.
Well, that
Italian stories.
That catch will last forever. LeGarrette Blount, is in for the touchdown.
Wow, well, we got 5-13. We got, what, 3 scores left in us.
The way
this is going.
This is a video game. Josh Freeman to Aurelius Ben set up the Blount touchdown, his second of the game.
A little bit of redemption here. Again, 250 some odd pounds. Just straight downhill. This is as simple as a screwdriver. Breaking the plane, touchdown for Tampa Bay.
And the redemption you referred to was the fumble Blount had that Hayes ran back and ignited the Cardinal comeback. So Connor Barth with an extra point. And now the Bucs lead it by 3.
This is just downhill. Again, you've talked about this makeshift line. You know, when you play goal line defense, you got to decide one or two things: stop the run, stop the pass. Sometimes it just doesn't matter. They push it a little harder than you, and with a 250-pound back, doesn't matter sometimes. He's just going to plow his way in.
Well, Brian, you touched on the big play by Aurelius Ben. Mike Williams has been the go-to receiver, and we've seen in this game. But when Freeman dialed up number 17, he ran under it. And Josh Freeman, playing like a veteran in his second year, trying to get the Bucs to their 5th consecutive road win, which would equal a franchise.
Billy Davis, the defensive coordinator for the Cardinals, talked about how they thought they could get a couple picks because of the way Josh Freeman kind of puts the ball up, usually under pressure. That was a different type of throw, but so far, and they've got big corners to do it with Cromartie and Toller, but so far these big throws down the field, this is really the first time from the pocket that he's taken that kind of shot. That was just a great throw and catch.
And earlier he had the touchdown pass, a career-long 47-yarder to Mike Williams, the 4th-round draft pick. Ben, the 2nd-rounder, setting up the Blount touchdown.
Don't get too satisfied just yet. You may need to come back in here and have to go the length of the field again.
Yeah, if you blink, you might miss a score in this one. LaRod Stevens howling in his end zone. Comes out. Stopped short of the 20-yard line. Tackle made by Adam Hayward. And we'd like to welcome the men and women in uniform serving around the world, watching today's broadcast of the NFL on Fox on AFN, the American Forces Network. More than 170 countries, aboard 140 ships at sea. We're proud to have you with us. We want you to know we all stand behind you as you defend our freedom. And to the families of all the men and women in the military, we appreciate your support as well. Derek Anderson trailing by 3, just over 5 minutes to go. What a hit. The ball came out, and it looked like it went right into the hands of Barrett Ruud.
Boy, this is just a great hit.
And an alert play, and the receiver is still down. LaRod Stevens howling. That was a ferocious hit, but a clean hit.
And exactly right. Make no mistake, with the focus on the helmet to helmet, this is a clean hit in the strike zone, right below the shoulder pads. The ball pops up, and it's an interception. He's underneath it. This is Tampa Bay's ball going the other way.
Geno Hayes delivered the hit. Barrett Ruud came up with the clean interception. And still lying on the field is LaRod Stevens-Howling. It was ruled on the field an interception, Buccaneers football.
And not that there's another alternative to it, but there are those that conjectured that with the helmet-to-helmet focus that's being made, that we're going to have more of these types of hits, and it's unavoidable. That's what this game's about. This is clearly a clean hit. Shoulder right into the shoulder or the breastplate. Great clean hit. And then Barrett Ruud being Johnny on the spot, getting his hands underneath the ball. Clearly that's an interception. Tampa Bay and an opportunity now to extend their lead.
6th career interception for Ruud. Aqib Talib ran an interception back for his first NFL touchdown earlier in this game. And Geno Hayes returned an interception for a touchdown earlier in this game. And it was Hayes who delivered the hit that allowed the Ruud interception. And slowly getting up and being cheered by this sellout crowd, LaRod Stevens-Howling, who had a terrific run for a touchdown earlier.
And that's painful beyond just what he's feeling right now, because now this puts Tampa back into it. Now they're up by 3. We're in an interesting situation. Obviously, with 5 minutes, you need the minimum 3 and out. Hold them to a field goal, at which point the Arizona defense has got to feel good about itself, because you're now a 1-score game.
It's been a very unusual game here on Halloween in the desert. Max Hall, the 25-year-old rookie, went to the bench. The Cardinal defense.
They're likely going to run the ball. If they do pass it in this series, it's probably going to be a boot or a waggle. Get outside, contain. You don't want to take an incompletion. You don't want to take a sack.
And LeGarrette Blount is brought down in a hurry. LeGarrette Blount has had 2 touchdowns in this game, had a fumble. He was not drafted out of Oregon, a talented player. And you remember on national TV in a game against Boise State, he slugged a player after the game, was suspended. Later was put in uniform, but it certainly affected his draft status. With the Buccaneers, he's run tough for them. He was picked up on waivers from the Tennessee Titans. Said he made a mistake and it wouldn't happen again. Trying to help the Bucs win here. Blood carry. And for a game break, let's go to Kurt Menefee.
Well, just a reminder that Game 4 of the World Series comes your way in just a bit. Nelson Cruz and the Texas Rangers got the win in Game 3 last night, but it's still Juan Uribe and the Giants on top 2-1. It all comes your way after the OT, which follows game coverage later on tonight here on Fox. Chris?
Thanks, Kurt. Fans hoping for a stop. LeGarrette Blount, the Buccaneers scouting department, liked him coming out of the draft. Stayed with him as he watches here. Cadillac Williams checks in. Freeman doesn't want to take a sack because it could take him out of field goal range.
Huge play. Huge mistake by the young Freeman, but Will Davis, the outside linebacker, and Freeman knows what he did. He's just coming on the outside. He's trying to break contain. Nothing's there. He's been gotten out of trouble all day like this. He's a nifty athlete, but this is a huge mistake for Freeman, because he's now take them out of field goal range. They may still, let's see, they've still got him in there. This is a bit of a risk as well, because if they miss this, they're going to put Arizona in a much better field position.
Connor Barth is on. He's made a 54-yarder in his career. His season long is 53. If they decide to punt it instead. Now, that was a 13-yard loss.
Well, you're indoors, so that's obviously it's not a factor. The range of this guy, obviously, Raheem Morris feels good about this. The fact that you're indoors and the range that he has. But I tell you what, this is a heck of a call, because if you don't make it, you're going to give Arizona great field position.
This will be a 53-yard attempt. And the Cardinals special teams come up big. But it put pressure on the kicker after Josh Freeman didn't get rid of the football.
Well, when you try a kick this far, it's got to be a low trajectory to get there. And you can see it coming off the foot here. You can't get underneath it, or it'll never get the distance.
Kerry Rhodes got through.
Just gets his hands on it, does a great job. What a huge opportunity for Arizona.
So they'll take over at the 43-yard line. And we welcome those of you that saw Seattle and Oakland. The Raiders defeating the Seahawks 33-3 after a missed field goal of 53 yards. It was partially blocked by Kerry Rhodes. The Cardinals take over. Derek Anderson incomplete for Doucette, and here comes a flag late.
Well, the key to this type of contact, you see guys putting hands all over the receiver.
Pass interference. Defense number 31. Penalized at the spot of the foul and a first down.
Penalties on E.J. Biggers. They've been going after him all day. Do you change the action of the receiver? You can put that trail hand, but if you turn the shoulders, and I'm guessing that's what happened. You can see right here 31 Biggers got a hold of that left shoulder, pulled it slightly, just enough to get the call.
The nickel back, Biggers. Hightower is in. First and 10. Pass is tipped and incomplete. He was trying to go to Doucette, but Barrett Ruud got his hand up.
Boy, that they pulled. They got lucky on that one, because Ruud would have gone the other way with that one. If this ball hadn't been tipped, you're going to see Anderson come out. If this ball hadn't been tipped slightly, I'm not sure, or the angle at least didn't have to be that high. Ruud had a pick six the other way.
And he had an interception earlier on the tough hit that the Buccaneers failed to take advantage of after Josh Freeman was sacked. Second down, Cardinals trailing by 3. Doucette has it. Rondé Barber runs him out of bounds near the 40. It'll bring up a third down.
Well, the question here is, do you approach it? Is it 4-down territory? In other words, I've got a 3rd and 3 here, and now, or a 3rd and 2. And you've got to tell your coordinator, you got 2 downs to do it, because that affects your play call. Or am I going to go for it? Of course, the play caller is the head coach, so unless he's schizophrenic,
he can't blame himself.
Yeah, he can just do it himself. But he can decide. He's got to know in his own mind, obviously, am I giving myself 2 downs, or do I need to get it 1 and punt?
Well, he's got a hot quarterback in, the veteran replacing Max Hall, who was benched in the second quarter. They have 2 timeouts. Quick pass is complete. That's Steve Preston. Now to the 25.
Boy, you gotta love everything about this game and the mind game that's going on right now for Ken Whisenhunt.
8 catches for Preston in this game.
Yeah, you're in field goal position. Just a simple hitch. You're in field goal position now. You got to be very careful about what you do from the quarterback, because we just saw a quarterback get sacked out of field goal range. You don't want to give that up, but you also want to come away with a touchdown.
Hightower carries. Trying to get outside. There's a penalty flag down at the 23-yard line.
Boy, this could be lethal. If this is a holding penalty, if this pushes them back out of that field. Nope, looks like it's going against Tampa Bay.
Holding. Defense number 90. 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Call is on Roy Miller.
And I'm not sure that's not away from the play. I think 90's in here someplace. The play bounces out away from him, which is always tough. You got 2 and 1. He bounces. He's kind of on the backside. He must have pulled the guard off at that point. Kind of a pedestrian call. Gives you a little bit of breathing range if you're Arizona now in terms of what you're willing to do with your quarterback from the pocket.
All right, Steve Preston is on the left side on his 147 yards, a career best. Active for this game off the knee injury. He's been the go-to guy for Derek Anderson. The other way. It's intercepted right at the 5-yard line by Aqib Talib. He went for Fitzgerald.
Boy, and you can see right here with Derek Anderson, what did I do? This is the type of thing that led to Ken Wisenhunt benching Derek Anderson and inserting Max Hall. You're going to Larry Fitzgerald. I understand why you want to go there, but you got to recognize the coverage.
He was triple covered.
It's like he had no idea Talib was underneath him. He saw the trail corner. He may very well have not seen him at all. Now, Arizona's got timeouts. It's 2:10. You're going to get the 2-minute warning as well. You're in decent position here to control the clock and get the ball in your hands one more time.
But a opportunity slipping through the fingers of Derek Anderson. At least a game-tying field goal or maybe a go-ahead touchdown. Second interception of this game for Aqib Talib, his 5th of the year.
2 timeouts by Arizona. I imagine they'll use one of them here if this is a run.
LeGarrette Blount has room, high-stepping for a first down. And a lot more goes LeGarrette Blount, hanging onto the football. Inside the 45 of Arizona, a 48-yard run that takes us to the 2-minute mark.
Wow. I'm not going to say a word. You gotta come back and see this play, folks. LeGarrette Blount, he told us he was a track guy. Evidently he was a hurdler, because that's a heck of a move right there. And then turns on the burners a little bit for a big man. Huge play, taking Tampa Bay out of the hole and likely handing them the victory.
His first 100-yard game. The undrafted rookie from Oregon, cut by Tennessee, picked up by the Buccaneers. And in this his 4th NFL game, the 2 touchdowns and the career highs he'll add to that. Trying to ice it for the Bucs on the road. Cardinals with 2 timeouts.
Yeah, we're not going to see a pass, and we're going to see these timeouts be burnt.
That's Blount to the 45-yard line. Blount, that name fits his running style.
Boy, it is, and it's just you get the blunt end of it too when he hits you because of 250 pounds. Can you imagine the athleticism to see that too? He said that he lost weight because he wanted to be a little faster, but found he wasn't. So he bulked back up and is carrying the weight that he currently has.
And when we talked to some of the Cardinal defenders, they said he looks like a guy 6'5", 270 coming at you, and really he's 6 feet, nearly 250. And Brian, you know, Raheem Morris said we're the best team in the NFC. After only 3 wins last year, the Bucs are on their way to their 5th win this season.
Well, picked down here, and rightfully so, given the year. And now they're kind of up here. They're going to challenge the Falcons. And you knew what Raheem Morris was doing. He was trying to tell his guys, hey, why not us? We got to start thinking of ourselves this way. We've earned that right. And they've earned that right today if they hold on to this win on the road.
The fight in a young team. This would be their 5th consecutive road win if they can hold on. Blount carries again inside the 45-yard line. And a timeout burned by the Cardinals. They'll have 1 remaining. The headline during the week, Raheem Morris, after that 1-point win over the Rams, said we're the best team in the NFC. They only had 2 losses. And when somebody said, well, your statistic, you're here in rushing, you're way back here, and time of possession, he said, forget, stats are for losers.
Yeah, and stats for the guys that are not for the guys that are last in the league in offense, defense, and all the other things that they might be. But the thing I liked about him, he said, yeah, I said it. Yeah, I did. You did. That wasn't a misquote, because he wanted his team to think in those terms.
He didn't back off. He only paraphrased by saying, I didn't mean to offend any other teams. I'm worried about my team. And that was the last Cardinal timeout. So they are done in that department. They cannot stop the clock unless they get the football.
And they are likely to get the football. We're not going to see it pass here. And so they're likely to get the football, but it's likely to be backed up and with not a lot of time.
He won't get the first down, but they'll let the clock run.
Well, still a lot here. You know, do you go for the block punt? Do you go after it? Do you go for the return? You certainly don't want to get pinned down.
We only need 3, so I think you hope the return. Derek Anderson, other than the late interception, has been pretty good going down the middle of the field.
And you're going to have a little bit of time. I'm not sure that you don't try to get the punt. I don't know how much of a return you're likely to get pinned back here. I'm not sure I don't go after it. Maybe hope for a shank or something of that nature.
Jay Feely, the Cardinals kicker, has a career long of 55 yards. His season long is 53. But they got to get the ball and move it downfield.
They take the obligatory penalty and
delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. It remains 4th down. Correction. That penalty's declined. It remains 4th down.
And you decline it because by backing it up, you give Ben Graham a chance to maybe kick it inside the 10. Right. I beg your pardon?
Robert Malone, the punter here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got the wrong guy.
It's okay. He's the punter for the.
I'd prefer to have Ben Graham because he could
drop it inside the 20.
Let's see if he has that same kick. Let's see if he does the same thing.
He's the 3rd different punter the Bucs have used this year. A bit of a pressure spot.
And he does. That backward spin not going to make a difference here.
Fair catch. Roberts. So inside the 15-yard line with 55 seconds to go.
Well, you practice the 2-minute all the time. 55 seconds. You got a good 40, 50 yards to go to get it in field goal. You're going to see a passive secondary on Tampa Bay's part.
Today's game produced by Bob Stenner, directed by Rich Dewey, Associate Director Neil Gallo, our spotter James Petralka from Tampa, Jeff Nelson on stats, broadcast associate Bill Cullen, technical producer Bob Mueller, studio produced by Scott Ackerson and directed by Bob Levy. Tim Hightower is in for Derek Anderson in the backfield. Pass is complete to Hightower, who wisely runs out of bounds near the 1st down marker. We're down to 49 seconds.
Yeah, they'll give you all those that you want. But with 49 seconds, you do enough for those, you can get yourself in position. What they need is you're going to see a deep outside 7 route behind the corner to the side of the safety, or like we saw in the Super Bowl, a Larry Fitzgerald down the middle of the field. You play that passive zone that splits. Maybe you can get a guy racing down the middle of the field.
Fitzgerald lined up on the left, bottom of your screen. Anderson looking that way, and in the air, and almost. The Bucs had Cody Grimm back there with Rondé Barber, but it was Myron Lewis who was matched up initially with Larry Fitzgerald.
Well, Tampa's schedule coming up now. They got a tough one. They got to go to the the Atlanta Falcons.
That'll be for the division lead.
Yes, it is. That's going to change, and I'm going to be there next week. Looking forward to that game. Then they got later on, you could see the Baltimore Ravens there. It's not an easy schedule. Of course, there is no easy schedule in the NFL right now.
2nd down 10. It's not over here. You need one big play and a field goal to tie. Pressure. The ball came out. Anderson had it. It looked like Levi Brown came away with the fumble caused by Styles G. White.
And what kills you now is
clock is running.
Forget the distance, but it just kind of throws everything off kilter. He just got to get spun around. The ball pops out. Now what Tampa can't have is that pass down the middle of the field. They know there's the outside route. Looking for something in the middle of the field maybe.
On 3rd down underneath to Fitzgerald, so it'll be 4th down. 6 seconds remaining here, and Arizona will get the Vikings next. Favre injured. Minnesota lost again, and then here they will get Seattle. Division rivals. Seahawks lost today.
Yeah, they don't lose any ground today right now necessarily because the Seahawks lost. Obviously, the Seahawks coming here in a couple weeks will be a big game for them. 6 seconds. I don't know where you go in the game plan to make this call.
6 seconds remaining. It is 4th down. Bucs have a defender standing all the way back at the 25-yard line. And Anderson is going to heave it. And Fitzgerald stayed in, but the game is over. And the Buccaneers win their 5th straight on the road to go to 5-2. For Brian Billick and Jamie Maggio, I'm Chris Myers. Bucs 38, Cards 35. The World Series coming up, but the OT with Kurt Menefee is next on Fox.